KHSAA High School Football Playoffs. 6A action tonight here in the area. And the 11-0 North Hardin Trojans, led by Coach Brent Thompson, welcoming in the Central Hardin Bruins at 9-2. Their coach, Tim Mattingly. This is a rematch of 3 weeks ago and a wonderful football game over at Central Hardin that the North Hardin Trojans won 7-0 to keep their unbeaten streak alive at the time. I'm Paul Gray. Alongside me tonight, my partner Dan Robbins. And Dan, there's a lot more, even more on the line tonight than there was several weeks ago.
Absolutely. We're sitting here in the booth, and just behind us we see the district trophy, the championship trophy, as well as the runner-up. And no one wants the runner-up tonight. I mean, obviously, this is not a situation where the runner-up moves on, as we see that in a lot of different sports in our area. In this situation, only one can go on. So there's a whole lot on the line.
Well, win or go home, as Dan just said, and tonight's contest is, again, and we've got a great contest for you, two of the best football teams in Class 6A football here in the state of Kentucky, and they're both from here in Hardin County. We've got some interesting developments, I guess you'd say, this week. Give us an update on Jarrell Campbell and what's going on there.
Yeah, so we found out, we're talking to a couple people in the booth. I saw him earlier than a week with a boot on, but he has broke his leg, foot, something in that combination, and he is done for the season. So it's very unfortunate for Jarrell as well for his teammates.
Well, the number 59, Chris Ashley, is going to be filling in on the defensive line for the explosive Jarrell Campbell. It's hard to replace someone that good. Chris Ashley's position on the offensive line is going to be filled in by number 74, big freshman Trey Alexander, over 300 pounds. He's a phenomenal young talent, and we'll get to see him this evening. On the Central Hardin side, several guys out to injury. Sean Hay dealing with some pinched nerve issues, some nerve issues in his neck. Mason Trout as well out, and the kick is away. They're starting a little early on us here, Dan. They just stopped the clock, and a low roller there by Xander Allen, and decent return will have the North Hardin Trojans set up at, I believe, about the 34-yard line.
Yeah, I think that the refs are just excited to get this thing going as the teams, and they're saying let's get a roll on it. It's not going to get any warmer as the evening goes on for sure, so they might as well go ahead and get warmed up by moving around.
So there's about 1:30 to go before the game was supposed to start, and they just blew the whistle and started it off. So here we go. We're underway. The phenomenal young sophomore quarterback, Manny Wimberly, will be at the controls with Lavelle Wright in the pistol look right behind him here to start the game. Trips formation to the right side. The snap is high. It's already a fumbled ball. Manny Wimberly's just going to jump on it and down it there. And so this North Hardin offense off to a bad start. We've seen a lot of issues with handling the snap and with turnovers for the Trojans, which they've been able to overcome in their other contests, but a bad start for the Trojan offense.
Yeah, almost deja vu. I think we saw that the last time in Cecilia that happened, but Manny, much smarter play this time, just jumps on it and takes the loss.
So 2nd and 24 now from the right hash mark. They'll try to restart here, see if they can execute a play. That time the snap handle, give to Lavelle right off the left. He's got a lot of space. He's going to get the corner. Chase Elmore there to make the tackle and drag him out of bounds. It's about a 22-yard gain. It'll maybe be a yard or two short of the first down. Big play for the Trojans.
Big play for Lavelle Wright. I mean, he is the type of person, it doesn't matter if you're sitting at 2nd and 24, he can chew up some ground really quickly, and they put him in a nice position here at 3rd down.
So 3rd down now and 1. He did pick up 23. They're out to the 43-yard line. Just need a yard. 3 receivers to the right, a little bit of a stack look in the slot. Going to reset and get the play. It's a 4-man front look up front. We mentioned Mason Trout, the good defensive lineman for the Bruins, is out. He was thrown out of the game last week, had a couple of personal fouls. Give to Lavelle Wright on 3rd and 1. He's down, but it looks like he's got the first down easily after a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, it looked like a little situation where Lavelle probably could have got his feet up just a little bit more, and he may have been gone to the house. I mean, he definitely had some daylight there, but he gets tripped up. Luckily for the Bruins, they bring him down.
Looked like 60, Blaine Mattingly in there to get a hold of a foot maybe to drop him there. So 1st and 10 for the Trojans from the 46 from their own 46-yard line. empty backfield this time. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Lavelle right in motion. They're going to throw it over the middle there to number 2, and it'll be a 12-yard gain. It's Cameron Smith on the catch.
Yeah, nice little play there, just a little development, getting the right end, settling in where the linebackers would be, just sits down and picks up the nice gainer for the first down. It's good to see, the Trojans trying to do a little balance here, a little run, little pass, and not just be so one-sided with their run.
So they struggled at Central Hardin to get anything really going and only scored 7 points. It was a rainy night. I expect to see a lot more offense this evening. Trips formation, a bunch to the left. Oh, ball's on the ground again. This time the Bruins will have it. And so at the 45-yard line, it'll be Trent Ferguson, 22. Just a mishandled handoff.
Mishandled. It did not. I mean, it looked like that it was in the pocket. It looked like a decent exchange between Manny and Lavelle, but the ball just came out. Could be, it is cold outside, and sometimes your feel for the ball maybe not there.
Well, turnovers are always a big story when it's a close matchup, and it was last time at Central Hardin where the Trojans turned it over a couple times in the first half. The Bruins couldn't take advantage, and then 4 Bruin turnovers in the second half doomed them to that 7-0 defeat. So we've already got a turnover in the game here, 1 fumble now for the Trojans, and so that's a bad start there after a few good pickups. Snap given underneath to Deonko Wilkerson on an inside handoff. Elmore and nothing doing. One of your favorites, I think Darren Green was there.
Darren Green, he continues to find a way to be around about every play. Deonko looking to try to make something happen out of that play, and Darren Green being there to help make the stop for no gain.
So Wilkerson had to carry about 3 guys to get back to the line of scrimmage. So 2nd down and 10. I'm sure the Bruins don't want to be sitting in long yardage all night long. Trips formation to the left. It's Kyler Lee stacked behind Chase Elmore in the backfield to give. It's a fake. Throw on the slant to Gavin George. He's got a first down. Big play for the Bruins. 13-yard gain inside the Trojan side of the field.
Yeah, good job there finding Gavin George. Didn't see a whole lot of Gavin George, Chase Elmore action in the last time they met. So being able to connect here early on has helped the Bruins get some confidence for them.
There was a big 3rd and 15 in that first game on their first series where Gavin dropped a ball in the rain. Obviously it was wet. And this is a good sign for the Bruins. He's able to make that catch. 2 wings. Tight end to the right, motion across, give to the second back, which is Kyler Lee. He is just swarmed under for about a 5-yard loss, maybe 4-yard loss. Was it Octavius Oxendine there first?
No, I think it was the outside linebacker there. I'm trying to get it. I cannot
10
see.
Lunds?
It might have been Lunds. Here, it's hard to see the jerseys. They're wearing the dark here. Number 10, it was Lunds on the stop. A great read for him to get in there and be almost at the mesh point between the quarterback and
so they're going to give the Bruins a 3-yard loss. I thought I saw a 4-yard loss, but again, whatever forward progress there was. So it'll bring up a 2nd down and 13. Definitely a passing type of situation. It's play action. Slant to the other side, Gavin George. He jump cuts around Michael Lunds. Close to a first down there. I don't know if they're going to measure. They're going to call it a first down, Dan. So 2 big completions on a slant to Gavin George.
Yeah, so the Bruins obviously like something there that the Trojans are probably giving them. Obviously, you can tell right off that the corners are being very generous playing off of Gavin. Obviously, they have great safety help over top with Jordan Lovett sitting back there. But, you taking the short gainers by taking those slants away, you really kind of remove the safety in that. And you could – we always say sometimes people say, hey, I'll just run the ball all day. I'll take 6 yards in a cloud of dust and move on. Well, in this case, they're taking that off the quick slants.
So a tight bunch to the left with the tight end over there. Wilkerson coming across. He's going to take the handoff on the jet sweep. Breaks a tackle. He's got 10. He's got 15. He's going to be run out of bounds on the left sideline. Big carry for Deonko Wilkerson.
Yeah, good job at Deonko. Sometimes, going backwards to gain is the case there. And he took a little bit of a step backwards as he was getting pressure from the defensive lineman, given chase. But Dianco's fast. He's got some good wheels, and when he was able to make that turn, he's able to turn it into a first down.
That may have been Ashley who was trying to make the play again. Ashley got a lot of playing time last year. He hasn't been in the regular rotation on defense, been playing offense this year, but he's got experience. Under center this time. The Bruins are going to load it to the right side, sprint out, Oxendine right in Elmore's face, and he's going to throw it at the feet of his receiver there, just trying to get rid of it there. Wow, what speed by the big defensive tackle.
It's amazing when you see him out and really giving a chase there on Elmore. He moves a whole lot quicker when he's coming straight at you.
7:08 to go here in the first quarter. And the Bruins are deep in Trojan territory. They're on the 19-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass, the first incompletion by Elmore of the evening. He's in the shotgun formation, tight end to the right, wide receivers to both sides. Give is going to be to Wilkerson up inside. He's going to pick up a few yards here on the 2nd and 10, bringing up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised, being able to kind of hit the ball inside against the Trojans here. Obviously, their defensive line is a little different, and they're playing with that different combination now without Drell Campbell. And so the Bruins might see something that they have to try to attack and get some yardage.
Well, they went kind of right at Ashley and Lilo up front there. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. We might see 4-down territory here. We don't know if they'll send Evan Jones in to kick if they can't pick it up. But it's play action pass, sprint out. Elmore looking down the field. He's got Gavin George at the pylon. Touchdown, Bruins! Gavin George. So what they could not accomplish in the entire game in round 1 of this heavyweight showdown, they've already taken care of with 6:25 to go in the first quarter.
And it all starts with the turnover. I mean, obviously, it's being able to capitalize off of turnovers. When you're able to do that and you put the pressure now on the Trojans to come out offensively and make something happen.
Well, this is one of the favorite plays of the Bruins, and that's a little comeback route to Gavin George off of the play action. Look here, it's Evan Jones on to attempt the point after. Snap is good. It's down. Jones kicks it up, and it's right through there. So with 6:25 to go in the first quarter, it's the Bruins 7, the home-standing and undefeated Trojans 0. So we're in for a ball game. This is a Hardin County Education and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunications needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties. For all your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. So, first drive.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. We didn't get a chance to talk a whole lot in pregame, but one of the things that you and I talked about before we went on air was just about the adjustments of both teams. It's always different. You watch film on teams, all year long, and you can kind of plan and prep. But then when you face that team, then you get a different feel for what you see on film. And so obviously, that Coach Thompson and his staff, Coach Manley and his staff have been able to do that and break down their own specific games against each other and to determine their weaknesses and places they can make up for it.
So the low runner, and it's Smith with the ball, I believe. No 6, Ramaj Adams. And again, he's going to return it out to about the 33-yard line. The low runner by Xander Allen there. They're trying to keep it out of the hands of the top return men for the Trojans. Definitely don't want Lavelle Wright to handle the football in the open field like that. But, again, effective.
Absolutely it is. But, when you do it that, you tell your defense right off the bat is like, hey, we're giving you a short field, to defend. And so be sure, you never want the team to cross the 50, and they're sitting here 20 yards out from it.
So it looks like a 4-man front, but it's probably a 3 front with a outside linebacker standing up on the right-hand side of the defense. Trips to the right. Wimberly looking deep to Marcus Harris down the middle. He's wide open, and he drops. What's a sure touchdown. Dan, holy cow, that almost just tied it back up.
That's 6. I mean, all day long that's 6. That's a ball that hits him in the hands. You had him beat. He had Dianco beat by 2 strides at least, and all he has to do is just pull that in, and he's walking into the end zone.
Easy 50-yard throw, and I don't know if you noticed, Dan, but Dianco's still limping. That's one of the injury issues for the Bruins. Dianco cannot run with Marcus Harris if he is in this condition. They're going to have to get him out. They're going to have to play somebody else at that corner position, or that's going to happen again, I guarantee it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to see the Trojans come back to that. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Give to Lavelle Wright on 2nd and 10, straight ahead. They've got a hold of him, but he's got some yards, pushing the pile for maybe 5 yards.
Yeah, and you know that Marcus Harris is going to want that ball back again. I mean, he's probably kicking himself right now, thinking he should have been in the end zone.
I believe that was Dylan Butterworth, 68 on the tackle there, playing inside with Trout out of the ball game. It's number 45, Trent Hill, moving down from a linebacker's position to play the 3-man front defensive end. So a little bit undersized, but a really good athlete at that defensive end spot. Empty backfield, Wright going in motion across, 3rd and 6 actually after a 4-yard gain. Wimberly looking downfield. He's got Harris wide open over here. He gets him the football, but it's short of the first down. A great tackle there by 81. I don't know if that's Mitchell. Who is that?
It should be Hunter Mitchell, number 81 there for the Bruins. No, Hunter wears number 80. I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Well, it brings up 4th and short, and the punt team for the Trojans is coming on.
So just a couple yard gain to Harris. That was actually number 81, Noah Wilson, who plays outside backer regularly for this Bruin squad. Punt team has been a source of trouble for the Trojans as well. White gets it away, number 32. Not a bad kick. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 29-yard line of the Bruins, so the Bruins will take over 1st and 10 there.
Yeah, it looked like the Bruins are bringing a little bit of pressure there, and we're getting close. I mean, last time they played, we saw some pressure for sure. I think it was number 62, Noah Gettler, made several attempts to try to go get it. But this time you saw about 6 Bruins that were near the punter at that time. And
yeah, that's the punter, 32, Alex White, and they've had trouble protecting him, and he doesn't get the ball very quickly. The ball kind of floats back on the snap. Interesting observation you made there about pressure on that, but they're also trying to bring pressure on the defensive side. Talking to Trent Hill, the young man who's moved down to play defensive line for the Bruins, they're going to try to bring some heat tonight.
Well, and I think that you got to try to do something. I mean,
Right.
again, Manny is continuing to prove himself as a young quarterback, and I've been really impressed with him over the past few weeks. But he is still young, and so with him being a young quarterback, the more pressure you bring to him, the bigger chance that he's going to make a mistake.
So several more of our sponsors include Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. Eton Exterminating, 737-6900, online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point. Or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. And so the Bruins will take over for their 2nd series. Trojans turnover and punt on their first 2 series. So the Bruins getting it done on the defensive side of the ball so far. And we'll see what they can do starting at their own 29-yard line. Wing T formation, the waggle look on the bootleg, throwing to the crossing tight end. A little overthrown. It was Josh McGowan, 85, who is Sean Hayes' replacement, going for the football. Couldn't bring it down.
He's throwing in the traffic right there. He was surrounded by 2 defenders, and I think that was Patry. That was one of them in there, and maybe Lund's the other. But, yeah, it's a tough spot to throw that ball into for the young guy trying to go make a play. Kind of hung him out there just a little bit.
So, again, it is going to be important, I think, for the Bruins to find another target other than Gavin George and try to spread it around a little bit. We all know they want to go to Gavin George, who is at this point split far to the left, kind of head up with Ian Patrick. They're going to give to Trajan Sanders around the right side on the jet sweep. It's about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Trajan looking to probably have a little redemption in this game as well, as had a big turnover that the Trojans were able to capitalize, or at least to keep the Bruins out of the end zone last time they played.
About the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it was a pretty big one. So Trajan, again, trying to find other people to try to fill in the shoes when you've got other weapons out of the game.
So Sanders with about a 3-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Bruins. Lunds and Green at the linebacker spots. Sprinting out to the left, throwing quickly to Wilkerson, and the ball is incomplete. Yeah, it looked like he had an opportunity to go over the top to Gavin George up the left sideline. They jumped that little short corner route by Wilkerson. The ball was thrown a little low, it looked like.
Yeah, it definitely was not one of Chase Elmore's best throws for sure, but it looked like that they definitely bit on that ball early, and either my eyes deceive me, but Gavin George looked like that he was coming away pretty quick to be open. If he would have held that ball just a little bit longer, he might have probably had a chance.
Tough throw on the run to your left as a right-handed quarterback, and he didn't make a great throw. Xander Allen's going to get away. Beautiful kick, spiraling. Andrew Ibarra down there to try to make a play, misses. Couple guys slipping for the Bruins, but they're going to go ahead and corral Ramaj Adams after a good return of about 15 yards. They'll start off, the Trojans will, at their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10 from the left hash.
Yeah, another great opportunity there. Looks like that number 6, Gabe Ramirez, in on the stop to bring him down. This is the best field position so far that the Trojans have had, and so hopefully they can get across the 50 this time and make something happen.
So 3:42 remaining in the first quarter, and we've got a 7-0 ball game. The Bruins, a little surprising, out in front early. Wimberly waiting for the snap. There's 3 receivers to the right. The slot receivers are stacked. They're going to throw the screen to number 6, Ramaj Adams. Makes a couple of good cuts. It's going to be good for about 2 yards.
Trying to see who that is out there. Look like number 80 out there coming in, almost trying to make like that crack block there. Got to be a little careful there in that position. Get your head on the wrong side of that, and that can turn into a flag.
80 is Josh Moore, the star receiver for the North Hardin Trojans. Bringing up a 2nd down and 7 here after the 3-yard gain by Adams. 2 receivers wide to each side. Motion across. Smith, the fake, the give actually on the jet sweep to Cameron Smith. He's running hard. They made contact with him after about a yard gain. He pushed forward for 6 more yards and a Trojan 1st down.
Yeah, I like that play. It's, he's just coming in that jet motion, but with Manny being so far back on there, it's just a little flip to the ball, a little moving forward. I guess we probably in the stats we'd almost consider it a pass as the ball does move forward in that. But a great job by Cameron Smith getting the 1st down.
So Cameron Smith on a good run there of about 8 yards when they needed 7. He got 8, so the Trojans have the football on the other side of the 50 in Bruin territory, starting 1st and 10 from the 43. Trips bunch to the left. The give is to Lavelle Wright over the right side. He breaks it. He actually tripped up. I think it was Clay Perry, 33, hitting him at the line of scrimmage and holding him for about a 2-yard gain for Lavelle Wright.
Yeah, that's going to be one of those things, hitting Lavelle in the backfield and getting him to try to stop his momentum a little bit. Luckily for Clay Perry, it was just enough to get Lavelle to be tripped up and to not get the big gain.
Hit him in the right leg, and he just kind of spun him down at that point. 2nd down and 8 from the 41-yard line now. Lavelle Wright going from a pistol look to flanking Wimberly to the right side. A high snap again. Wimberly is going to jump on it again. Another huge error for the Trojans.
I just don't understand. Here we are at week 12, even more so, but as far as the 12th game of the season, why that would continue to be a problem. Those are things, Coach, that you see in week 1 or week 2, quarterback center exchange, but that should not be happening at this point in the season.
Well, that big loss of yardage there brings up a 3rd down and 19. They lose about 11 yards, maybe 12 yards on the errant snap, the high snap. And in a bad bit of a spot here. It's trips formation to the right side. Behind Wimberly is the running back, Lavelle Wright. He's looking down the left side, but Harris is covered, and he's got nowhere to go. He's going to break the tackle of Trent Hill and step out of bounds after about a 7-yard carry maybe.
Yeah, somewhere around that. Is definitely he maybe got close to the original line of scrimmage. It depends on where they mark him.
Guess he went out of bounds further back than we thought, and it's 4th and 14, so only a 5-yard gain for Wimberly there, and And it looks like Alex White, 32, will come on with the punt team. Didn't know if Coach would go ahead and go for that. Sometimes if he gets it over the 50, he'll leave his offense out there, but maybe not tonight in a game of this high stakes. So back deep, Wilkerson and Gavin George. Looks like they're set up for a return here. They don't have a lot of guys up front. Trying to get a block there. Gavin George making the catch. Wanted to run with it, but tackled immediately. There's a flag up.
Yeah, he did not get, you got to give him some room to make the catch. I don't believe that was given. He was definitely in his halo, that area, and that's where that flag's going to come from.
So the Trojan defender in coverage there, in good position, but hits Gavin a little early, gets, as you said, into his space. What now?
Oh, they're calling it against the Bruins.
Is it a block in the back or a hold?
I heard personal foul, but I did not. Yeah, I'm not sure where the personal foul was. I mean, obviously they saw something that we didn't see. So. All
right, well, the Bruins are continuing to lose field position here as the Trojans, although down 7-0 with 46 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Trojans are winning the field position battle as they continue to gain ground now, and the Bruins will start at their own 10-yard line. Wilkerson and George to the right, Elmore in the shotgun. Looks like tight end to the left. Quick slant again to George. They've got it again. Big gainer for about 12 yards to Gavin George again, so third time.
Yeah, they continue to see something in that, and what the Trojans are going to have to make sure they do. Jordan Lovett, does a great job back there, safety, but they're going to get, bite on that, and they're going to do something out of that slant.
Absolutely.
And he's going to do a
wheel route from Wilkerson.
It's going to be something that's going to happen, and he's going to bite down at the safety, and so you can always kind of see the writing on the wall of what's getting ready to happen.
Absolutely. So same formation, other way. Actually, trips this time to the left. Trips to the left. Give is inside. Maybe Kyler Lee, it looks like, with the football, trying to push the pile, and they'll gain about 2 yards on that carry.
Yeah, the Bruins got to make sure they continue to keep it honest. They got to keep going back to their run game. They've got a good back, and Kyler Lee there, the big, strong back, as well as, Dianco can still give them some runs, as we've seen earlier on in the first series. So
first quarter comes to an end, and it is the Bruins 7, North Hardin Trojans nothing. This is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of the Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. And I wanted pre-game, Dan, if we'd have to get predictions. It's a little difficult now that we're a period in and can kind of see what's developing. But what were your thoughts pregame as far as what you might see?
Well, I talked with a couple people today, as probably you did as well. And people, asked me my opinion, and what I said was 14-7, and they're like, "Well, who?" And I said, "Either way."
Good question.
I said, I really believe 14-7. Probably first, if I was forced to pick 14-7, I would have picked the Trojans. I would say 14-7 Trojans. I think that their defense holds up enough, and they have enough firepower offensively to take care of it. But I also said turnovers are going to be a factor in this game, and we've already seen that the Bruins have been able to capitalize on the turnover of the Trojans, and so that could easily flip 14-7 the other way. But the Trojans are not going to go away. That's for sure. Right,
and that's how I felt going into the previous matchup between the two. The turnovers might tell the tale of the game. I agree with you. I'm a little surprised because I would, if I were picking, I'd have to go the way of the Trojans. They are the favorites tonight. Wing T formation to the left, tight end left. The fake, little bootleg, he's in trouble. They've got him pinned back, and that's Octavius Oxendine making the big sack. Looks like about a 13-yard loss.
That's a big loss there. Again, when Double O gets after you and starts chasing you, and you're trying to get away from him, you better be moving pretty quick, because he is quick on his feet. And there he was just able to get a hold of Chase and pull him down.
Well, there's a holding call on the play. I have a feeling that thing will be declined, and it is declined after a huge loss. That'll bring up third down and about 19 for the Bruins. They are back again deep in their own territory at about the 13-yard line. So big play by that defensive front. We laud that defensive front as one of the best we've seen, and they made a big play right there to halt what the Bruins had going. Man-to-man look down here, even if it is a zone. It's Patry on Gavin George. Looking to his right, however, this time down the middle of the field. Holy cow, he was looking for Josh McGowan, the tight end again, but that ball hit number 20 Moore right in the chest, and he couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, again, throwing it to McGowan in a middle of three guys. And, you mentioned it, trying to find a different weapon for the Bruins in this, but you can't throw that ball into triple coverage. There's just, especially to an underexperienced or inexperienced receiver.
So another mistake, but they get away with it. A couple of drop balls by the Trojans here and a couple of drop snaps. Really, they've, shot themselves in the foot. They could be out on top easily here. Decent kick by Xander Allen. He didn't hit it as well as normal, and the ball did not bounce. He got a terrible bounce. The Trojans will get great field position. North Hardin will take it at about the 41-yard line of the Bruins.
Yeah, it was kind of almost a line drive. Did not really get a hold of it as we've seen in the past. So it gives the Trojans a great start. This time, just talked a minute ago about their last series. This time they are on the other side of the 50.
Wow.
But what can they do? Because they haven't done much since they've gotten to the other side of the 50.
Well, they're gaining ground every time. Each possession has started closer to the Bruin goal line, and here they are. Actually, maybe at the 42-yard line, 1st and 10, left hash. Trips formation to the right. Looks like a cover 4 umbrella for the Bruins, and Lavelle right off the left side. He's still on his feet, just dragged down at the last second there. Looked like Chase Elmore on the tackle after a 12-yard gain.
Yeah, you don't want Chase Elmore having to make your tackles there on your running back. That means he's gotten way too far. But Lavelle Wright is the type of back, in my opinion, in a ball game like this, that he would touch the ball 30 times.
Absolutely, and the Bruins, when you've got a 4-deep umbrella, you don't have as many guys in the box, and that's the time they need to be giving him the football. So 1st and 10 from the Bruin 30-yard line this time. Same formation, same play. Wright stuffed in the backfield. This time just about a 2-yard loss. 81 Noah Wilson there, 60 Blaine Mattingly there. Fantastic play by the Bruin front.
Yeah, great job of resetting the offensive line. They definitely, pushed them back. Lavelle gets the handoff, and he runs right smack into one of his own offensive linemen in the back, and then Wilson able to make the tackle.
Well, 60, as they're saying in the loudspeaker, Sam Filyaw. He's marked on the roster as Blaine Mattingly. Mattingly plays on the offensive line. This is Filyaw filling in on the defensive front, making a big play there. Give again to Lavelle Wright. Not this time either. Nothing there. And so the Bruin defense stiffening up just at the right time.
Well, Coach, you mentioned that as you talked with Coach Jackson, defensive coordinator, that they were going to bring some pressure. They already brought more pressure this game than they did the entire time that they played them.
They like to play a lot of base looks, Dan, and tonight a little more movement up front. That was Trent Hill from his defensive end position making the tackle, but had some help coming in behind him from Clay Perry. Trips formation to the right. It's 3rd down and 13 after a gain of 0 on that last play there, 3rd and 12 maybe. Give again on 3rd and long. Wright is through and up the middle. He's got a chance to get to the end zone. He's dragged down by Chase Elmore, and they're going to call a horse collar on that tackle.
Yeah, it's a good call. Obviously, he got his hands anywhere he could. When his hands is in the back side of his shoulder pad behind the helmet area, and you pull down, that is that call. So
it looked like Elmore had a hold of the shoulder pad originally, but as Lavelle Wright ran by him, his hand slipped to the back of the shoulder pad, and it was definitely a horse collar tackle.
Absolutely, and if he doesn't get a hold of him there, Lavelle's in the end zone.
It's a touchdown. So. Yeah, he had to make whatever play he could make there. So the penalty, the run, I believe, had a 1st down anyway. But that will be a first down now deep in Bruin territory. It's 1st and goal from about the 7-yard line, maybe the 8-yard line.
I wouldn't deviate from their plan to continue to feed Lavelle.
It's a man-to-man look here, and they're going to do just that. Give it to Lavelle Wright. He is running over tacklers there, man. He's inside the 5 for about a 4-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and goal from the 4. Good tackle by Trent Hill and Trent Ferguson, but they couldn't stop him.
they're going in their big package here. You see Oxendine coming in. You see Darren Green coming in. So they're getting ready to go with this big jumbo package. And we're going to see the Wildcat look, I guess, in a sense.
Wildcat look with Lavelle Wright taking the snap.
This is the biggest, most powerful Wildcat you've ever seen right here.
Yeah, Darren Green in the slot position. Oxendine in the lead back position here. Snap, Lavelle right behind Oxendine. He's going to dance and then pull forward. Touchdown, Trojans! Pretty well defended by the Bruins, but they just pushed it back into the end zone.
Yeah, that's big, Coach. I mean, you and I can run behind Oxendine on that play. As soon as Oxendine hit that line of scrimmage where, the Bruin front had made a nice stop, you saw everybody just start to move. He is a big, strong guy, and so when he made that hit there, it was it.
So with 8:26 remaining in the second quarter, the score is now 7-6, and Caden Logsdon is on to attempt the point after. The left-footed sophomore is going to attempt to add the point to make it 7-all. Snaps a little high, but it's down well and kicked through. Beautifully done. And so at about not quite halfway into the second quarter here, we've got a tie game at 7-all.
People that came out and decided to brave the cold, they're getting a great game. So they are definitely getting their money's worth out here tonight.
Well, I thought we'd see a little more scoring in the first matchup just because it's a dry field. We don't have the rain and the difficulty with handling the ball that we might have had in the first one. But we do have a great football game brewing here at North Hardin. This is a Hardin County Educational and Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunication needs. Physical Therapy Associates, more personal attention for more effective results with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville, online at physicaltherapyky.com. And so Logsdon will tee it up, and we'll see what his pleasure is here. If they're going to pooch kick, squib, roll it along the ground, or if they're going to give him the green light to kick one deep here. I see Gavin George sitting in the middle of the field at about the 23-yard line, trying to get him to be able to field the ball. And I believe they've got an offsides call on the Trojans. They'll take it back 5 yards and kick it again, I suspect.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in this case, if they're going to kick the ball on these on the ground for a low runner, you're going to give a team an opportunity to return a little something. So might as well back them up.
So the kickoff now from the 35-yard line will the North Hardin Trojans. Again, it's Deonka Wilkerson back deep, but sitting in the row right in front of him is Gavin George, just looking for an opportunity to get his hands on the football. That may have been Nolan Goodman there, number 20, ready to try to handle the football on that previous kick. This time it's deep, and it's over Deonka Wilkerson's head. Not in good position, the Bruins. Ball's rolling at the 10. Wilkerson's got it. He's going to try to cut it back up. He breaks 2 tackles. He's still on his feet. Good block out in front of him. Going to try to cut it back. A big return up to about the 39, 38-yard line, Dan.
That's just great athletic play by Deonka Wilkerson. He's got speed, too. Picks that ball up. Those are those dangerous type of plays when, you kick the ball, and with the Bruins not really in position to return it, then your lines start to break down in your coverage.
Right.
And so, a dangerous back like Deonka on a return, that can spell disaster for a kickoff team.
You can still see, though, he doesn't have the speed that he normally does. I think he would have outrun a lot of that once he had a chance to break loose there at about the 35-yard line, but cut it back because he didn't think he could outrun that. 1st and 10, Bruins. Quick throw on the slant to 27. I believe that's Mason Thompson. He's going to make the catch for about a 7-yard gain.
Mason Thompson pulls that ball in, almost kind of surprised, like, oh, hey, here's the ball, and pulls it in. So, we're talking about maybe seeing a couple other guys step up and fill in for Sean Hay, and so Mason Thompson taking his opportunity there.
Well, there's one guy that might be able to do it. It looked like he slipped and fell and caught it from his knees, and so good catch. That might be a guy you could go to and count on. He could be a good one. He's a big kid. 2nd down and 3 for the Bruins at the 46-yard line. Give us to Wilkerson around the left side. Nothing there. Michael Lund slicing through to make the tackle deep in the backfield.
Yeah, great job by the linebacker just coming in there, making a big stop. That's where Dianco, could be where he's still just a little bit gimpy, making the stop and trying to look for something else versus just kind of running the ball
right
where the intended hole was.
Well, nothing there for Wilkerson. We've got a chop block on the Bruins now. You don't see that a whole lot, but that is going to hurt them even further. The ball will be moved back considerably here, and that'll bring up another really long yardage situation for the Bruins.
Yeah, the chop block, it does happen, occasionally, that's where, one offensive lineman has a defensive lineman engaged, and then another lineman to the side of him, takes his legs out in a sense. And
it's a really dangerous situation
it is very
there,
dangerous.
obviously.
Yeah.
So not a good play for the Bruins. They are backed way up, back to looks like about the 29-yard line. Going to bring up about is it third down or second down?
It's
going to be a second down and 20.
It was 2nd and 2. So,
but I guess the penalty is going to mean you get to replay the down. Elmore on the play action, roll out. He's throwing it to George. Good throw and catch. Big pickup. They're going to get about 15, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. It's the same play they ran for the touchdown, Dan.
Yeah, and you're much manageable situation here now on a 3rd and short that you can, 3rd and 5 or so, that you can still get a 1st down out of this. So big penalty, but Gavin George connects with, or Chase Elmer connects with Gavin George, able to put them in a good situation.
So Bruins with a big play here, 6:34 and counting. It would be great for them to keep the football, keep it out of the hands of the North Hardin offense. Elmore's going to scramble. He had space to pick it up himself, and he throws just a little short and not quite enough for Mason Thompson, and he had 10, 15 yards right in front of him just to run for that 1st down.
He did. He had Gavin George open as well. He had Dianco over here on this side kind of backing out. Again, I'm not so sure about making that pass into the middle of the coverage. And I was kind of wondering what the Bruins were going to do here, if they were going to go for it or not, but they do bring the punt team out.
That was a big mistake. And again, when you see 6 yards in front of you and a 1st down in front of you, you have got to go ahead and take it. And I see 25, Jordan Lovett, limping off the field. That could be a concern. We'll keep an eye on that for the Trojans. Xander Allen ready to punt. Punts away. It's a high punt. It won't be returned, but and it'll take a good Bruin bounce. It would have rolled further, but Andrew Ibarra catches the ball at the 25, downing it well before it would have continued rolling.
Yeah, and I could kind of see the frustration of Andrew as he caught the ball. I don't think he intended to. He was just kind of in that place, and as it bounced, I think it bounced right into his hands. So
right.
Those aren't the bounces that you want to bounce into your hands. So, unfortunately for the Bruins, they give the Trojans the ball in a better position than they would have.
So with 6:16 to go in the first half, the Trojans on their left hash on just over the 25-yard line will start this series in the pistol look. Trips formation to the right. Pistol means the running back right behind the quarterback. Fake. No, it's give. Give to Lavelle Wright. He's around the right side. He breaks it outside. Good tackle out there by Gavin George and Trent Ferguson, and he'll pick up about 6 yards on the carry.
Yeah, we had someone there kind of made a dive at him. I'm not sure who that was. Could have been Clay Perry making a dive at him in the backfield, but Lavelle is able to get his feet up and make a nice gain out of it.
So the Bruins in a little bit of a, looks like a man cover look, a one-deep man cover look, a little bit of a dangerous situation. So we'll see if try to take advantage of that in the passing game. 5:41 to go in the half. 2nd down and 5. Again, trips formation to the left. Wimberly is going to give to Wright. He breaks a tackle, or breaks a second tackle. He broke Noah Wilson's tackle, and he's up the sideline. Ibarra pushes him out of bounds at about the 40-yard line after about a 17-yard pickup.
Yeah, I see this flag coming in here, and I'm not sure this could go either way, but I think there may be a taunting in here off of this as Lavelle gets up and flexes against Ibarra.
The gain is good for 29 yards and a 1st down. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Well, it's an unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Trojans, correct? Isn't that the direction they pointed?
It is, yeah. And again, I think that I was right that he's doing it against unsportsmanlike with the taunting. Listen, great run. You've got an opportunity. You may be doing this on Saturdays at some point, but there's no reason at this point that you need to get up to do those types of things.
So it makes a great run, does Lavelle Wright. Part of it negated, but it will still be 1st and 10. Trojans now still on their side of the 50-yard line at the 45. Trips formation to the left, and I think they're just going to keep handing the ball to Lavelle, as it looks like the Bruins are really overstacking that trips formation with 5 guys. Ball on the ground again just on the handoff. It just looked like Lavelle didn't get the ball.
Yeah, looks like Lavelle's a little frustrated. Gets up and he's talking to Manny about that ball. He's just kind of placing it there versus kind of putting it in his belly. And I think that's kind of why those exchanges are looking like that. But, you're in this situation right now. The Bruins have not done a whole lot to just stop Lavelle Wright. So just continue. The Trojans should just keep it simple and continue to give it to your stud running back.
Well, they had really, in a zone look, overstacked that trip side, and I was looking for Lavelle to take that one to the house. But 2nd down and 13 now after the 3-yard loss. Give us to Wright again. He's going to dance to his left. He's running over tacklers. Kyler Lee has a hold of him. He's going to pick up about 8 that time, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. So they may be able to still overcome the mistake, which they've been good at doing all year long.
Yeah, right now the Trojan offensive line is continuing to make a big push against the Bruin front, and they're pushing them into the back of the linebacker. To the linebackers at this point, and Chase Elmore's having to come up and make tackles.
Everybody up on the line for the Bruins here. No traditional-looking linebackers, showing blitz, showing that they're going to fill every gap and try to take that away. The Trojans will throw. Perry off the edge on a blitz, runs Wimberly out. Just overthrown, just over Ramaj Adams' head. It was Sam Filioff, 60, giving chase. But good job, again, putting pressure on by Clay Perry.
That's one of those situations, though, if you looked out there, Manny had daylight, almost kind of just like the same thing you called against Chase Elmore. We had the 6 yards he could have ran. Manny could have just ran that ball and continued going because his receivers were running away from him. The defenders were running with those receivers and just run it.
And Filioff wasn't going to catch him.
No,
he was applying pressure, but he was not going to catch Manny Wimberly on that play. So Alex White, 32 in. Ball is at midfield. If I were the Bruins, I'd be watching what's going on here on the snap, so you don't jump off sides. Snap is a little high. White does a great job getting it. Lots of pressure. Good kick by Alex White. It's going to take a big bounce. It's going to roll inside the 10-yard line, and the Bruins are backed up again with 3:27 to go in the half. Bruins are going to take over, it looks like, on about the 9-yard line, maybe the 8.
Yeah, Bruins are definitely bringing the pressure. There's about 5 guys getting there when the punt is released. And the Trojans are going to have to be careful. They've got a couple of times that these snaps are just right at the point of going over the top of his head. So good thing he's able to pull those in.
Well, those snaps are have a lot of arch on them. They're going up high into the air, and it takes a while to get back there, and so it gives time for the rush to be put on. The Bruins have not been able to break through quite yet to get an opportunity to block, but I'm sure they're going to continue to try. Under center here, Chase Elmore, and I was thinking on that last series, they've got to run the ball straight ahead if they're going to do it, but they're going to go wide again. Sanders breaks it up inside, breaks 2 tackles, breaks another, 1 more tackle, and he would have been to the house. Was it Patry there to clean it up at the end?
Yes.
First down, Bruins, big run. He broke a bunch of tackles, did Trajan Sanders.
Very surprising. We've talked about it before. Trajan is not a very big guy. He is elusive, and he is very, very fast. But to break tackles there, he just keeps his feet moving, and the power and momentum we're able to break those tackles.
So there may be a flag down.
Yep.
False start on the Bruins.
Interesting.
No play.
Wow. That's something you usually blow dead.
You blow dead. You do not let them.
Interesting situation there.
Yeah, that is definitely you blow the play dead. And maybe they did, but I could not hear whistles.
Well, the players didn't hear it either, if that's the case, because that play was run all the way to completion. 5-yard penalty. Now it's first down and 15 from about the 4-yard line there. The Bruins are again backed way up, 3:08 remaining in the half, and I'm sure they'd love to get a first down so they could keep the Trojan offense off the field. Under center again in a wing T look. Elmore's going to throw it. He's looking again on some sort of a slant route or crossing route to George. It's completed. Not a big gain, but they'll get back to the original line of scrimmage on about a 5-yard gain there.
It looked like George had to go down to get it. It was another really low pass. And, George being as tall as he is, that's a far stretch for him to reach down towards his shoelaces.
So right now, I believe Elmore's 7 of 12 passing the football and almost at 100 yards passing. So not a bad night. Wimberley's only thrown 1 incomplete pass. A lot of short balls. 2 incomplete passes, I'm sorry. Throw to George on the little curl route. He needs to get north and south if he wants that first down. I think he's got it, Dan.
He does.
So big play on 2nd down and 10. A pickup of about 13 yards for Gavin George. And, wow, they are riding their horse right now as he has caught 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 balls.
Well, you've got a receiver like Gavin George. Again, I felt like that the Trojans did a great job of taking him away the last time they played. The weather had obviously some factor in it. But, when you got a player that's as good as him, you've got to go after him and use him.
We're looking at the statistics, just noting there's a give back to Wilkerson, and they've got to stop running those little reverse plays. They are just getting themselves killed by going sideways. When you're playing one of the fastest fronts you're going to see all year, sideways is never a good idea. And so another big loss. It's 132 and counting, so I'm sure the Bruins would be content to try to run out the half here. But that's going to bring up a 2nd down and 14 now on the loss of 4 by Wilkerson. His last 2 carries have been a loss of 4.
Yeah, again, you had mentioned that he doesn't look like he's 100%, but those types of runs are not giving him a chance to look as good as he wants to.
So out and up, throw to Gavin George. He's got the play, makes the catch. He's going to get upfield. He came back for a short throw, which really worked to the Bruins' advantage on that one. I'm trying to count it up, about a 30-yard gain for Gavin George.
Yeah, another big gainer there. He's playing right there, and he has Jordan Lovett on him, and he almost kind of stops, and I think Jordan kind of loses his feet just a little bit, and Gavin's able to come back to pull that ball in.
So whereas the Bruins may have been thinking, let's run this clock out, a big play here, a first down, almost to midfield at their own 47-yard line, 1:03 remaining. They'll go ahead and call a timeout and see what they can cook up for the last minute of this half.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a big deal. Obviously, the Trojans will be getting the ball in the second half. So if the Bruins can get down even, maybe into field goal range, and have a chance to put something on the board, they're going to have to feel really good about themselves going into halftime.
Well, Gavin George having a phenomenal night. On the other side, obviously Lavelle Wright is just tearing it up. Wimberley has only completed, I believe, 3 balls, and for not very many yards. Obviously, he hit Marcus Harris with an opportunity for a touchdown earlier in the game on a beautiful throw. But the superstar wide receiver for the Trojans so far, Josh Moore, held without a catch. I don't remember him being targeted.
No, I don't think he has been. Like I said, I only mentioned his name one time there when he was making a block for, I think it was Cameron Smith at that point. But, yeah, Josh Moore, the Trojans are going to have to get him involved at some point.
So you love the game plan of giving the ball to Lavelle Wright, but you might want to try to get it to your best receiver out there as well. So the Bruins continuing the drive, 1st down and 10, 1:03 remaining in the half. Trips formation to the right. Perry's going to pick up the blitzer, which is Lunds. Elmore this time is going to run. He'll slide after about a 7-yard gain. He's over midfield. They're going to have to hurry back to the line of scrimmage. Unfortunately, their version of hurry-up offense is Chase Elmore run to the sideline to get a play.
I still don't understand
43,
it. Whether you're learning some signals, you're in no huddle offense right now. You should have called 3 plays or something at that point in that timeout.
So they've lost 20 seconds here in that process. The throw is low, incomplete. It must have hit the ground. It was Thompson going down low for the ball, so the incomplete pass will stop the clock at 28 seconds to go, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah,
And the Bruins need a big pickup here.
Yeah, they need something pretty big right now. They obviously need the first down, but with 28 seconds working against them at this point, they've got a lot of field left here to get just to even get themselves in the field goal range.
In this kind of a low-scoring game, you just want to take care of the football. So hopefully that would be, if you're a Bruin coach, that's your message to these guys. So Elmore is going to play fake, look deep. He's going to Gavin George. George can't quite get to it. It bounces harmlessly to the ground. And Logan Green, the left guard for the Bruins, had his helmet knocked off early in the play. Not sure how that would have happened, but Logan Green is going to have to trot off the field here in 4th down and 4.
Yeah, I'm not sure. His helmet came off, but Logan continued to play. He's such a competitor. You know, I watch him every game that he's out here playing, and he plays with such tenacity and fire. It's just the kind of kid that you'd love to coach.
Absolutely. Well, the Bruins, I guess they figure with 20 seconds remaining in the half, if they get stopped here, North Hardin is going to have a hard time making the kind of progress offensively that would get them into field goal range. So 4th and 5, play action pass. Elmore running to his right. He's going to try to pick it up. He steps just inside, I believe, the first down marker. He should have it.
He did. It looks like he does have the first down. It was a smart play.
Strange mark, Dan. They are going to give him the first down, and it did stop the clock stepping out of bounds.
Yeah, so with 13 seconds left to go, they're able to get at least another opportunity here. And I think, looking at the scoreboard here, the Bruins have one more timeout. Obviously, the Trojans have all 3 of them at this point. But, you know, the Bruins probably have another play, and they can call timeout and then maybe try to see what they can get. So at this point, if you're going to try to bring Evan Jones in, you've got to get this ball down to the 20.
Yeah, you need about 20 yards here to give him a shot at it. He kicked about a 48-yarder last year at one point, but in the cold weather, that could be a tough call. Elmore under center, actually, this time. He's going to roll back, step up in the pocket, look to his right. He's going to run and step out of bounds again. He picks up about 5 more yards. The clock, however, ran another second or 2 off. 5-yard gain for Chase Elmore, and now you're pretty much down to let's take a shot.
Yeah, it's looked like it's just going to have to take a shot for the end zone now to see if they can get something out of this. So
the ball rests at the 38-yard line of the Trojans, so a good drive for the Bruins, but they're going to run out of time here. Honestly, they've kind of let a timeout just go away. They lost 20 seconds earlier, so the timeout is going to not come into play. Your best chances here, a lot of these shots down the sideline have been a difficult proposition. You almost better chance on a crossing route deep down the middle of the field than just heaving one up down the sidelines. Quick throw to the outside. Throw and catch to Gavin George, and the clock will stop. They stepped out of bounds. About an 8-yard gain for George on the quick hitch route.
Now this ball is going to, they're going to put themselves in a position here for about a 47, 48-yarder if they want to give it a shot. And you were just talking a minute ago that Evan Jones, you know, that's in his range.
Maybe they'll call the timeout and take a look. And Evan Jones is actually out on the field.
Yeah, I saw Chase Elmore. He was calling for it. Let's kick it. Believes in his kicker, so why not?
That'll be a 47-yarder, Dan. And again, I've seen last year Evan Jones hit from this range. It's a little harder. The ball gets a little harder on a cold night like this. It kind of freezes up, so the skin on the ball, so to speak, is hard and slick. The air, all you deflate gate people, the air comes out of the ball. I'd love to go on about a 30-minute diatribe on that garbage, and I'm not a New England fan, but that's what happens to a football from a former quarterback when you grip it. It doesn't quite have the same air in it, so it's hard to kick.
Right, absolutely. So, you know, here he's going to give his kicker an opportunity to see what he can do here. If they're able to put 3 on the board here, this is going to be a big-time deal for going into halftime.
It'd be huge. So they need to protect. They need to be safe with the football. Ball's down. Jones kicks it. He hit it a little low on the ball, not even close. They're going to have to – the ball went into the end zone, so it can't be returned. And that'll end the half.
Field goal is
So
no
a
good.
great half of football,
Half.
Dan. A lot of times,
Trojans
you know,
7.
people love to see the
Bruins
shootout, but
7.
we have a great football game here with two great football teams. Just what we expected at 7-7. And your prediction, one more score would do the job.
That's right. One more score, and I will be right, even though we were halfway into the game, I guess, at that time when I told you my
Good
prediction
call,
live.
man.
But
Good
still,
call.
yeah, you know, hey, I've got some people that are probably vouched for me that said that I did call 14-7 prior to the game. But it is a great one. These are the types of games, you know, from the fan perspective, you just love. You're having a good time. You know, I said, you know, being here, you know, in Hardin County, we know we're going to have one team move on, and we'll be excited for everyone to jump on the bandwagon and continue to cheer on either North or Central at the end of this. But yeah, what a great time. You got nothing?
We have Mayhem in the band right now.
Oh, okay.
I heard we don't have sound.
Oh, okay. So we're just talking to ourselves?
Hey, Dan, so what do you think here?
Oh,
We'll just
yeah.
keep talking.
Yeah.
Let us know what's going on, all right?
I thought I heard something happen.
We heard it click, but then we don't know.
I didn't hear him say anything. Because there's no sound in the band. Go down there and fix it. You can do it.
You got it.
Hi, my name is Dale Mings, and welcome to HCEC-TV live sports coverage. We want to take a few moments right now to recognize one of our longtime sponsors with our live sports coverage, Bluegrass Cellular.
Well, we started back in 1989 just offering your basic service to our customers, and eventually in 1998 we started doing our first digital service, providing our first digital service, and then later in 2005 we launched our first smartphone service, and ever since then we've been adding to our product portfolio, enhancing the services, and now we even have mobile services as well as a number of fleet digital services for our business customers. Well, the future is pretty bright. Right now we continue, as I mentioned, to enhance our portfolio, so we have in-vehicle internet services that we can provide to families as they travel throughout the holidays. We have our fleet services where you can monitor and manage how your vehicles are being used if you're a business customer of ours. So it looks pretty bright. We're not just only focusing on the mobile handheld device. So we can even service your internet, provide your internet service in your home. Well, we have a core employee group of approximately 400 employees, but more importantly to us, not only do we have our employees that are directly employed by our organization, but we support well over 125 vendors. So each of those vendors have their own set of employees, and they're all part of the Bluegrass family. So it's your community expanded, it's our business expanded, so we're completely entrenched and we're fully invested in where we are. I tell you what I'm really excited about is when we talk about being local, oftentimes organizations, we picture a local as a place, right? My organization is located in Elizabethtown. That's a specific area where you are. Here, what we do is we like to do local. So local as a verb and action word. So just the other day, we were very fortunate enough to be involved in a shelter clean out. We cleaned the grills and tables and walls of a community shelter so they were able to pass their inspection. This wasn't done on the weekend where employees just do when they feel like they would be fit their schedule. This was actually done during the day. The company fully supported that, fully supported our organization's team members to go out to the facility and do work there. Beyond that, a lot of times when you hear the word local or local involvement, you may think of an organization of our size would simply write a check, or that's how we are involved. But once again, I mentioned that we do local. So we're actually involved in organizations such as Helping Hands and Battle for the Bluegrass, where we're providing funds for schools, and we're actively involved. So that's how we view our local involvement. Well, right now we are really excited about our Wi-Fi service. So you can have your internet in your home in areas where previously some of the landline providers were unable to provide you with internet service. Now you can come to Bluegrass Cellular and we can provide you with internet service in your home. Even if you're in an extremely rural area, you can be connected digitally to the rest of the world. On top of that, as I mentioned, we have our fleet services. So if you own a business, our internet service will allow you to track your vehicles, it will allow you to do business on the move and on the go. So your employees, particularly if you have a sales organization, they're no longer tethered to a cubicle or to an office. There's always work to be done, and when you're mobile and when you're mobily doing work, then you're going to be extremely more productive. And that's all due to some of the products that we're offering. Well, you can walk into one of our retail locations. We have over 35 located throughout central Kentucky, so we're in a town near you. We can also find us on bluegrasscellular.com.
Thank you for taking a few moments to learn about one of our longtime sponsors here at HCEC-TV. And we just want to thank Bluegrass Cellular once again for supporting our students and providing this wonderful service. Now let's get back to the ball game. Hi, I'm Dale Mings. Welcome to HCEC-TV live sports coverage. Now we're here again today in our studios talking to one of our longtime sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, and we have Don McMahon with us today to tell us a little bit more about Brandenburg. Welcome, Don.
How you doing? Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Don, tell us a little bit about Brandenburg Telecom, kind of its history and so forth.
Yeah, Brandenburg Telecom has been in this area since 65 years. We started off in Radcliffe, and then we've branched out from there. So in E-Town, we've probably been offering service in E-Town it's probably about 18 to 20 years almost for service in E-Town. So we have all the cities in Hardin County. So we've been here for a little while.
Now, I used to live in Meade County, and so I know that Brandenburg kind of started out as one of those small-town telephone companies.
That's where we first started, and we decided to branch out from there. So, yep.
And it's, I think one of the things that's always intrigued me was the fact that you guys have been really innovative. And again, that small town telephone company, but yet you guys have brought the cutting edge technology to our area. And I think you continue to do that.
Yeah, fiber service is a big deal. I'm sure everybody's heard of fiber service mainly from Google, bringing it to major cities throughout the U.S. So we started out in Meade County building fiber service, and we have most of it built out. It's still going, but recently we're able to offer fiber in the county of Hardin County, whereas we used to be in the cities. Now we're in the cities with fiber and the county. So the county is getting built out slowly but surely. We have 2 crews going right now, so hopefully we'll get it out. We'll get it out built eventually.
I know that's good news for a lot of folks like me. I live way out there in the boonies, and right now we don't have a whole lot of options.
Yeah, right now with today's technology, you have wireless devices, you have 4K TVs, so that demands a lot of bandwidth. And with fiber service, you can get up to 1 gig at your home, so that's huge. I mean, for a little community like this, which E-Town's getting bigger and bigger every day, I know that. So it's a really good product to have.
So I guess what we need to tell people is stay tuned. It's coming.
Definitely. When we do open a new fiber area, we go door to door. So we'll hang a bag on your door, and then we'll that'll let you know that fiber's ready. And we also do some advertising in the News Enterprise, and we put all the addresses in that's available. So you can check that out too.
Well, now, if people wanted to know, for instance, are they in an area where they already have Brandenburg available to them, how can they find out about what's available, what services you offer?
Yeah, definitely give us the call at our office. We have a new office in E-Town on 62. Phone number is 270-982-4466. And anybody can tell you what we do. We do TV, phone, internet, security, so they can get any information from the office. Just call your local office.
So the new office kind of took the place of the one that was downtown on Dixie.
Yeah, we used to be on Dixie Highway. We shared a space with West Point Bank, but we've grown bigger and we have bigger plans, so we got to spread out a little bit. So.
I think it's kind of neat how you've kind of kept that architectural style from the office in Brandenburg.
Yeah, it's easy enough structure to build, so I guess I like it. So
I know when they were building that, when I was living in Meade County, and I watched that one build there in Brandenburg, and I thought, is that going to be a church building? Is all that stained glass,
Yeah, a lot of people say that. It's definitely a big steeple. So
it's pretty the way you turn the different colored lights on at different times and things. So that's pretty cool. All right. Well, here's obviously you guys have been supporting high school sports by being a sponsor of our live coverage. And that's been going on for quite a while. So why do you think why has Brandenburg gotten involved that way?
Well, like I said, we're a local company, so the community is important to us. We want to give all of our customers, the best services and conveniences. So, a lot of people, if they can't make the game, they can go to Channel 1 and watch it. We play a lot of replays, so if you missed it, you can go back and catch it. We also are involved in the high school, like a co-op program. So as much as we can interact with the high schools and the high school kids, the better for us, because maybe they'll work for us one day. So we want to definitely keep that relationship going.
So you mentioned co-op program. Is that a way for students to learn more about technology?
Yeah, we our co-op program. They can work in the office. They can slowly learn and just get a better knowledge of what we do.
Wow, that's awesome, because that's something that Hardin County Schools is big in right now, is getting kids ready to work.
Yes, definitely. That's huge lately. Even the college is doing that through HCEC-TV.
Yeah. Kind of hard to remember that day, but it changed
Yeah.
a few years ago. But
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate all that you do for us. And folks, there's a lot of things here in Hardin County we would not be able to do if it wasn't for Brandenburg Telecom basically backing us up. And so we really appreciate all that you do.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for being here today.
All right.
Now we're going to get back to that ball game.
Welcome back from our HCEC-TV Live Sports. I'm here with one of our outstanding sports sponsors. They've been with us for many, many years. It's E-Town Exterminating, and joining me is Sean Rich, and he is the CEO of E-Town Exterminating. You all just celebrated a huge milestone just recently. Talk about that, Sean.
Yes, July 1976 was when my father, Roy Rich, started our company, and this year we celebrated our 40th anniversary. In doing so, we had a meal out at Freeman Lake, and we invited a lot of people in the community, and we had a big celebration.
Now, for those that may not know, what are all the services that E-Town Exterminating provides?
Well, we have 3 different divisions. We have pest control, termite, and mold management. In pest control, we have monthly services, we have bi-monthly and quarterly. And we can even do just a one-time service if that's what the customer wants. And in the general pests, we take care of like crickets, spiders, ants, etc. And then we also have bed bug services, which is a different type of service. And then in termite, we have liquid barrier services. And then our popular service is Centricon Colony Elimination System. And that's where we put the green stations around the house. And it has a material inside of it that the termites will feed off of, and they take that insect growth regulator back to the colony, and it'll eliminate the colony. And then the mold management service, we have a monthly service for that.
I was going to say moles are the death of many people.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
What do you think is the key to your success at E-Town Exterminating?
I think our huge success is we put the customer first, we provide a very good service, and then also we give back to the community. And I think that's been 3 really key elements of our success.
So for 40 years, you started with how many people? How many employees did Roy have?
We started with 3 employees, and now we employ 29.
That's a great economic impact for our community too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Why do you feel it's important to be a community sponsor?
Well, just like high school athletics, we see a need in these programs. With my children participating in varsity sports, I know, and also a booster rep for five years, I know that there's not a lot of money that's there for those kids. And we want to make this a special moment for them. Every kid should be able to go in and have good equipment and be able to travel and go to a lot of different events. And we want to be able to be a part of that.
Now, earlier
Welcome back to North Hardin High School. The homestanding Trojans here in week 2 of the playoffs are in a battle with the Central Hardin Bruins. 3 weeks ago it was a 7-0 ball game in the rain, a defensive battle. We've got a similar one tonight. The offenses are a little more wide open, a little more effective, but right now it's a 7-7 tie, Dan.
Absolutely, yeah. We've seen a lot of punts, unfortunately, from both teams thus far. We, one turnover, touchdown from Gavin George and touchdown from Lavelle Wright, and it's been a field possession game. Trying to see who can get the ball, in a decent field position to get the ball into the end zone. And I think it's a coin flip at the beginning of the game. It's probably continues to be a coin flip at this point on who can take advantage of the other team's mistakes.
So, like we said earlier, we're looking to see who's going to make the big turnover, make the big play. We've had a couple of really good performances here. We've got Gavin George unofficially, obviously. We're just trying to keep a few stats here with 10 catches for 126 yards. The Bruins have 134 yards passing. Not much going on in the rushing game. Deonko Wilkerson, 5 carries, 11 yards. Kyler Lee with a couple carries for just a few yards, maybe 5 yards on 3 carries. Manny Wimberly just 4 of 6 for 25 yards. But Lavelle Wright with 14 carries and 100 yards. Now again, the Trojans have only about 79 yards of rushing here in the first half, and that's simply because they continue to snap the ball over Manny Wimberly's head and lose 12 to 15 yards on several of those errant snaps.
Yeah, we've seen that at least twice already. I do want to applaud Manny this game, that he has done a good job of just corralling those snaps in and just take the loss. Don't try to be Superman trying to pick that ball up and try to make something happen, because the last time he did against the Bruins is when they turned it over. So at least on that regard, the Trojans only with 1 turnover so far in the game is a good thing, and the Bruins only have not having any this game comparable to the last game is a big plus on their side.
So just the 1 turnover, but both teams on the offensive side of the ball, some of what we've seen a lot this year out of these teams, and that's shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. A few penalties, a few of those bad snaps that have stalled Trojan drives, 2 penalties that have stalled Central Hardin drives. We're in an absolute duel right here, a dogfight between these 2 teams. I believe it will be the Trojans with the football to start the second half.
Yeah, I think the Trojans won the toss but deferred to the second half. So, the Bruins having it last and trying to. The Bruins will get the ball the first half. So we weren't really sure. The refs kind of gave us a couple different signals there the last time. So the Bruins will get the ball in the first half.
So the Bruins then will have the football and try to maybe get something going, just like they had going at the end of the half. Obviously, they ran out of time. We took an opportunity to kick the ball. I understand we kind of cut out a little early. We were told from the truck that we had lost sound, but I guess we had not, and so we apologize for the abrupt ending there in the first half, that is. We want to thank our sponsors. This is an HCEC-TV student production division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harrison, Remax Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. So kickoff in about 30 seconds here, Dan, and we're going to see somebody go home and somebody go on.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, it's going to be, sad for one team, but I think, Team Hardin County will come through and you'll see everybody supporting the other team that will move on in this fantastic Class 6A. Did mention earlier, we were looking through a little Twitter feed that congratulations to Octavius Oxendine being named the 6A District 2 Player of the Year, and so very, very, very fortunate for him. That's great. What a great young man to receive that award.
Well, defensive lineman being recognized for that sort of award is not something you see very often. It just speaks to what a phenomenal player, phenomenal kid Octavius is. And so, again, as you say, congratulations to him. And we're about ready for kickoff here. It'll be Caden Logston teeing it up. And back deep, Gavin George and Deonko Wilkerson both back deep this time. Last time, the Trojans chose to kick to an area where there was no return man, and it was a little bit dicey for the Bruins. They made a good return, and so we're underway as Caden Logston this time will roll it along the ground. It will be fielded very easily by Andrew Ibarra, and he's still fighting for yards. They've stopped, but there's no whistle, and he's still running. He had not gone down at that point. His knee had not touched the ground, and he picks up 6 more yards, up to about the 48-yard line, Dan.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure now. I see a ref kind of moving back to where he originally, we all thought that he was down. Nope. Oh, they are giving him
47.
Yeah, so, wow, good job for Ibarra to keep his feet moving. I thought he was down.
Well, the Trojans all stopped and stared, and a couple of them, fortunately, kept playing. Ibarra, I believe, was laying on top of a defender when everybody thought he was down, and if you're not down and you're laying on top of somebody, the play is not over and the whistle was not blown. So 1st and 10 Bruins from their own 47, shotgun formation, give inside to Deonko Wilkerson, jump cut to his right, just enough maybe to get the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just maybe get back to the line of scrimmage again. You know, this defensive line of the Trojans, though they're missing the really good Jarrell Campbell, they are continuing to put the pressure on the Bruin front to keep their blocks.
So Lunds and Oxendine on that tackle. That time, 2nd down and 10 from the 47. Chase Elmore reporting to the huddle with the play. Tight end to the left. Deonko Wilkerson is going to spread wide left, slot to the right. He's going to look straight down the field, now looking to his right, scrambling to his right. He's going to go ahead and run it, and Elmore runs a man over on the sideline there, showing some toughness. He just blew somebody up. It may have been Patry that he ran over after about an 8-yard gain.
Wow, yeah, that's typical. Chase Elmore would run it. I thought he was just going to step out of the sideline like a typical quarterback probably would, but he decides to lower the shoulder, and it could just be, hey, this second half we're going to try to take it to you a little bit.
Going to set a tone there.
Yeah.
We saw him slide in the first half, and we saw him step out of bounds several times to stop the clock. He was not of a mind to step out of bounds right there.
No, and I don't know if Coach Nichols here at the game or at home watching that, but I'm sure that he does not like the idea of seeing that play happen like that.
Well, Chase obviously is a key factor for that Central Hardin basketball team that should be a really good team again this year with Gavin George, Deonko Wilkerson, and Chase Elmore, and a number of good young players that they'll be bringing along. 3rd and 1 now. Shotgun spread look. They're going to throw the screen to Gavin George over the middle. Almost had him in the backfield, but now they will bring him down. That was number 59, had the first shot at him, Chris Ashley.
Yeah, Chris Ashley, filling in for Jarrell Campbell. A great job there, just staying home and maintaining that. You get caught up sometimes, especially as a young guy that hadn't played as much. I know that he played several season or several games last year in the season, so that he's a little more experienced. So he felt like he was probably going to see some action tonight, and he was definitely ready for that play.
So Gavin George makes the catch. I was kind of thinking he might turn it upfield a little more quickly and have an opportunity, but it'll bring up 4th down, and Xander Allen is on to do the punting. 4th and 4. They're not going to go for it. Xander Allen gets it away. It's a good kick up the right side. There's nobody back deep. I guess the Trojans playing for a fake. Didn't want to take a chance there, but field position is flipped, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans at about the 6.
Wow, yeah, and a good job there. Xander getting a hold of that one. Hadn't had a lot of really good punts so far, but he gets a good one there. So putting the Trojans with their back against the wall here a little bit. I think we're probably going to see another heavy dose of Lavelle Wright.
So especially backed up 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line on the left hash. We'll see what kind of adjustments both teams have made here. It looks like more of a traditional 4-4 cover 3 look. They're going to bring more guys in the box with Lavelle Wright giving them fits. The give is to Ramaj Adams. He's going right, but he cuts back to his left, and he's got space. About a 9-yard gain for Ramaj Adams, and he had nothing around the right side. He was going to get stuffed around the right side.
Yeah, and just being an athlete there decides to turn around, and sometimes that's either it can really work out well for you or be really bad. In this case, it worked out really well.
2nd and 1 for the Trojans.
So big play by Ramaj Adams there to get them out of the shadow of their own goal line. Out to the 15, 2nd down and 1, 2nd and short. Now 2 backs in the backfield, Adams and Wright there with Manny Wimberly at quarterback. Again, that 4-4 look for the Bruins. They're overloading one side. The fake on the first back. Lavelle Wright now with the football. Breaks a tackle. He's up the sideline. He's got an opportunity to go the distance. There's Elmore. Elmore knocks him out of bounds. Great play by Chase. He had to play off a blocker and then knock Lavelle Wright out of bounds.
I was actually pretty impressed with Chase Elmore there to catch Lavelle, because I figured Lavelle was just gone. So what a good job by Chase Elmore actually getting to him. We're seeing a little different look now from the Trojans as they're going with the 2 backs in the backfield, and that little misdirection right now is giving the Bruins some trouble.
So a 40-yard gain by Lavelle Wright up the sideline. They'll have it on the Bruin 45-yard line. Again, game-saving, or at least a drive-saving tackle by Chase Elmore there. They're going to more of a run-stopping defense with 8 in the box. That did not matter one bit to give us Lavelle Wright over the right side. This time they've got him corralled, Clay Perry, and it'll be a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, great job by Clay Perry there, getting in there to stuff Lavelle, keep him from making another big gain. Looks like one of our Bruins
81,
there.
Noah Wilson
coming
limping
up a little gimpy there.
He's trying to get back to his position, Dan, so he can continue to play. But the official's going to call a timeout to maybe help him get off the field. They don't like how he looks there. He's wanting to stay on the field, but the official's going to help him out by telling him, let's go ahead and get somebody in here for you. I don't know if that's the official's call or not, but they've done it. And so far, I don't see anybody coming into the game.
Here he comes.
There we go. Looks like Logan Green is going to check in at linebacker there. The offensive guard is going to play on the inside, inside linebacker in this 4-4 look. It's actually a 3-4 look right now. Strong safety up. Fake to the first back. It's Lavelle Wright around the right side. A lot of space. It's going to be Chase Elmore to have to tackle him again, dragging him out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. First down, Trojans.
Yeah, another big play there by Lavelle, being sprung by his receivers coming in and making some nice blocks out there on the edge, letting him get where he wants to make some plays. One of his receivers over here, looks like he's a little bit gimpy. Number 2.
That's Cameron Smith.
Yeah, Cameron Smith looks like he came up a little gimpy off of the block.
Well, they've been running a 2-back look and faking the ball to Ramaj Adams and then giving kind of on a counter play. This time, no backs. Empty backfield. Lavelle Wright in the trips formation to the left there. Snap. Looking to his left on the quick hitch to Ramaj Adams, number 6. He's broken a tackle. He's down close to the goal line, brought down right before he can score. It looked like Ibarra may have gotten him, number 21.
Ramaj gets that ball, and he makes that turn, and he's like shot out of a shotgun. I mean, he just takes off. Now he is coming up, and he is hopping. He actually hops on one leg to get off of the field there. So that will be something to pay attention to. Ramaj Adams is a big player for him, does a lot of things.
Jumbo package in the game. Lavelle Wright will be your Wildcat quarterback. Octavius Oxendine is first and goal from the 8 here with 8:43 to go in the third quarter. See if the Bruins can get a stop here. Straight ahead, and Octavius Oxendine knocking guys down, but good tackle on the outside. That's Chase Elmore again making the play at the 4-yard line.
Yeah, that play is not designed to go out there, obviously, when you bring in that big package. It's supposed to hit up inside, but he did not like what he saw, so he decided to take it out.
Well, Oxendine was moving the pile, and I think he would have done better to stay right in there behind him and continue to push. It's going to be second and goal from the 4-yard line. Same package, Darren Green, Octavius Oxendine there as the big blockers. The snap is there, right behind the big fella, pushing ahead. It's close. No signal. Looks like the Bruins have held about a yard short. So it'll be third and goal from the 1-yard line as Lavelle Wright has picked up 4 yards and 3 yards on the last 2 plays from this Wildcat look. Dan, I don't see any way they can hold them from getting a couple yards with Oxendine leading the way.
I said, well, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's take the snap and hand it to Oxendine. I mean, let's let him take the ball in here. Why not?
Well, the refrigerator Perry would love that. I don't know if Coach
Thompson
Thompson would.
You know, Coach, that is the lineman's dream. You know, let's give him a carry in here. Why not?
Well, Coach Thompson wants to talk about it, so maybe he's going to look at Octavius and say, big fella, do you want the football right here?
Well, you know that in practice when they're getting to this package, you know the Oxendine is saying, come on, Coach, where's my play? There's got to be an opportunity.
There's got to be a play.
There's got to be a play where he gets the ball. I'm sure of it.
What I don't get here, Dan, is the timeout.
Yeah.
Because there's no way they're going to stop these guys from getting in the end zone out of this look. Now, the Bruins are probably over there right now saying, all right, how about we just take 11 guys and slam into this thing and see what happens here? I don't know that that'll matter. I don't know if Brent Thompson's going to say, well, they're going to put everybody in there. Let's try something else. I can't see it.
Yeah, you know, you get into this package right here, and, you know, they started it from the 8-yard line. And
right.
I'll be honest, you know, kind of impressed that the Bruins have held them out thus far.
Right,
but
right.
You're third and goal from the 1-yard line. If you can't score with this package, then get rid of it. That's what I'll say.
I hear you, and I think that's what's getting ready to happen right here. The only thing the Bruins might do is I see an outside linebacker up on the outside here, is run off the edge and catch him by the feet in the backfield before he can get going here during the snap. Ball is snapped high, and that's exactly what happens. They come off the edge and make the tackle in the backfield. 45, Trent Hill was the guy standing up over here on the edge, and he gets in there, makes the play in the backfield.
Yeah, the third snap that we have seen this game where it's hitting, in this case, Lavelle versus Manny, it's hitting them high almost in the face mask, and it's just hard to handle. Luckily for the Trojans, they are able to pull it in and secure the ball where it does not turn into a turnover.
So on 4th and goal from the 2, Caden Logston is on. Coach Thompson thinks that the points here could be a game winner for him. He trusts his defense. I get it, but 4th and 2, they can pick this up on the offense if they want as well. Kick is up. It looks like Caden Logston has knocked it through. It was basically the length of an extra point, and no problem for Caden Logston. So the Trojans here with 6:42 to go in the third quarter have taken the lead at 10-7.
Yeah, very good job. The Trojans getting on their first possession of this half, getting 3 points on the board. I'd say they've got to be a little bit disappointed that they don't walk away up 14-7 right now, but they definitely will take the lead.
Well, let's just say maybe win for the Bruins on that, because there's no way they were going to stop that short of an error.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just an error. So that's what we found. That's what we had right there. This is Hardin County Educational Community Television Student Production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all of your telecommunications needs. Physical therapy associates, more personal attention for more effective results, with locations in Elizabethtown, Hodgenville, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Bardstown, and Louisville. Online at physicaltherapyky.com. Ryan Harris of RE/MAX Premier Properties. For all your real estate needs, contact Ryan at 270-723-4626, and he'll get the job done. So Caden Logston to tee it up. Again, as we said just a moment ago, 6:42 remaining in this third quarter. And now, for the first time in the evening, Trojans lead.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where they like to play from. Obviously, that's what they've been accustomed to for most of the season, and the Bruins have not been accustomed to is playing from behind. So we'll like to see what's going to happen at this point now in the ball game.
So Logston, the low roller there, and it's number 80, Hunter Mitchell, that does, in fact, come up with that ball. He advances the ball ahead about 5 or 6 yards, and the Bruins will start with the ball. Good field position again at about the 43-yard line, so they just need a few first downs to put them in range of possibly tying this thing up.
Yeah, you know, didn't have many chances during that first possession to get the ball to Gavin George. We'll see what they do this possession, but they got to go back to their big weapon.
So 2 backs in the backfield with Elmore. Elmore second back through is Deonka Wilkerson. Boy, he looks slow. He put it on the ground, and there is that fumble. There's that turnover that we were looking for. Deonka, Dan, is just not himself. There was no explosiveness. He just stood there and waited for the hit.
Yeah, he stood there and waited for the hit, and it was a good hit. Nice wrap up, and the ball comes squirting out there for him. And Micah Parms, number 3, comes up with a big turnover there to put the Trojans in business. Again, already on their side of the 50.
So on the Bruin 40-yard line from the right hash, trips formation to the left. Josh Moore is way deep. I have a feeling they're getting ready to throw a screen pass to Josh Moore. Going to get him the football one time, and there it is, Dan. Screen pass to Josh Moore. He was lined up deeper than he should have been. He's got 5 guys surrounding him. He breaks all of that. He's way deep. There is a flag down that's got to be an illegal block. And after all that, he is flipped upside down by Gavin George for a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Though, again, those aren't times where, the linemen really know which direction to block a guy and do things to. So when your receivers start to change directions and bring it across, unfortunately, those flags are inevitable. They're almost always going to happen.
So with the 1-yard loss here, I think they're going to go ahead and take the holding penalty and move it back. It'll be 1st and I believe 21 now for the Trojans based on where they're starting to march off the penalty. And I don't know, 2nd and 11 or 1st and 21? What do you like? I don't know if you're the defense.
I think I like the 1st and 21.
Probably.
Obviously, it's you put someone you change the play calling just a little bit for the offensive coordinator, but in this case, I think feed Lavelle right.
I agree. Feed Lavelle right. You 1st and 21, 3 runs probably gets you a first down here. The way they're running the football. Adamson, there's another bad snap. Wimberly's put it on the ground. The Bruins, I think, have it.
They do.
Wow. Sam Filyaw, number 60, jumps on it.
Filyaw filling in this week, and he comes up with a big play. That is the 4th now that we have seen of those snaps. Manny Wimberly has done a good job of being able to pull him in. He is just not able to pull this one in. It gets away from him. And now we see back-to-back fumbles from both teams with now the Bruins benefiting, being on their side here.
Yeah, he was trying to secure that, Dan, and it just was, he had the back tip of it and just couldn't hang on to it. It gets on the ground, and the Bruins were after it in a hurry. So 1st and 10 Bruins from the Trojan 38 in a good position here, field position-wise. Wilkerson, again, stuttering and stopping and not running with any explosiveness. The coaches have got to see what's going on and realize they've got to get him out of the ball game because he can't really give them anything right now.
Yeah, I think you'd almost probably be better off with him kind of split out in a slot or something like that.
Absolutely.
Almost being like a decoy. You got your big back Kyler Lee in there, has done a great job all season long. Give him the opportunity. He does a really good job with ball security and things. So that's where I would go at this point.
So that is 2nd down and 10 now on the no gain. And again, he could have gotten a yard or two with just running hard. There was not much there, but certainly could have had something. Wing T formation here. We've got the waggle bootleg. Oxendine doing a great job. He's going to dump it to the back out of the backfield in the flat. Nothing. Holy cow.
Yeah,
about 5 Trojans there and about a second swarming. A good throw and catch, but just nothing there on the run.
Yeah, that was Kyler Lee. I just talked about him a minute ago. Just kind of gets out there into the flats. But he just gets to the line of scrimmage on it and then kind of breaks away a little bit. And then, unfortunately, his momentum goes backwards as he continues to try to get more yards, and it turns into a loss.
So 3rd and 11 here, and if I'm the Bruins, I'm thinking 4-down territory, and if I can get 5 or 6 here. If I'm the defensive coordinator for the Trojans, I'm double covering number 3.
Absolutely.
So they haven't gotten him the ball yet in this half, but this is where he has been devastating.
As you can see in the lineup right here, Jordan Lovett is way over top of him.
They got him triple covered right now, and that's where Elmore was looking, but there's nothing there. He's going to go for him anyway.
Elmore's pass.
He caught it. He may have gotten a foot down. Completed pass. What in the world? That was crazy.
Wow. I mean, I guess you can tell why Elmore continues to look for him. He just continued to work, and he works back to him to pull that ball in. Obviously, very short of the first down, but a great.
It's now
catch.
Manageable
it's
yardage
a
for 4th down.
A manageable 4th down for sure.
So about a 7-yard gain there for Gavin George, who had 10 catches in the first half.
Trojan fans.
Yeah, and giving credit there to Chase Elmore to elude the pressure and keep his head on to find a receiver downfield.
Well, I'm noticing Elmore scrambles to his right every time he sees in front of him. He needs to learn a spin move and out to his left as well. But we've got a 4th and 4 here, and you got to believe they're going to throw the football again. Elmore is going to come back to pass. He's rolling half to his left. Throw, just barely knocked away. He had Gavin George on a post.
He sure
for
did.
A touchdown
he had
there.
He had him wide open, and he was looking for the sticks to get the first down, and he lost Gavin George back there. That is, as he rolls to the left and he has to square back up in his shoulders, he's looking for the easier pass there, but he's got to see Gavin George.
Well, he went for Clay Perry in the flat, and the ball looked like it may have been just slightly deflected by the Trojan defender. But if he had gotten his head up to look down the middle at the post route, it was Gavin George wide open for 6 points right there. So the ball will turn over on downs on the 4th and 4. Wimberley back onto the field, backfield, which is what they're going with here, and it's a give again to Lavelle Wright. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, but Trent Hill will clean up what was going on in the backfield. It's about a 2-yard gain, 2-yard loss.
Yeah, and so the Bruins are now have kind of sniffed that out a little bit, that they are faking to Ramaj Adams and then giving the ball to Lavelle, obviously to keep him honest. That you're going to have to give the ball to Ramaj a couple more times.
So 2nd and 12 now for the Trojans, and these long yardage situations generally haven't been a problem. Of course, the Trojans have only put 10 points up tonight, and we're at 3:35 to go in the third quarter and counting. And so 2nd down and 12 from just over the 30-yard line. One back this time, 2 wide receivers. Wimberley looking down the middle. He's got Cameron Smith this time. Wide open. Smith has got it. Elmore is going to run him down. A big pass play there from the 30 to the 15. 55-yard pass completion. They ran Smith right down the seam, and the free safety, Elmore, was shading the far side of the field, and Smith was just wide open. That is a broken coverage.
Yeah,
man.
broken coverage, and a great ball by Manny Wimberley to get Cameron Smith in stride, really. It was a great ball.
So the Trojans now 1st down and 10 deep at the 16. I thought it was at the 15. It's at the 16-yard line. They're going to run the football. They've got wide receivers spread well to the left. And offsides Bruins as they jump into the neutral zone. And so, Dan, I hate to say this early in a game, but the Bruins are in a little bit of a desperation situation right here. 1st and 5 now from the 11-yard line. If they give up a touchdown here, they'll be down 2 scores, and I don't see it against this great defense.
Absolutely, yeah. They're gonna be scrambling hard. We haven't seen a whole lot out of special teams just yet, just because of the teams have kicked away from people. But you probably almost like to see Gavin George get an opportunity.
Delayed draw, and he's pushing ahead. Lavelle Wright deep. He's inside the 5, maybe to the 2.
Yeah, that was something in the last game that we saw Gavin George take 2 punts for big gains, but both being called back off of penalties, and so we haven't even seen Gavin George have the opportunity tonight.
Right. First and goal from the 1, in fact. 2:32 to go in the third quarter here, and the jumbo package is in. And again, if they can handle a snap here, this is 6 points as far as I'm concerned. They're going to go under center with Lavelle Wright, and he's going to go quarterback sneak from under center. No signal yet. Dan, I don't get it. Just snap it to him and run behind the big fella. They can't stop that. It's not even going to be close. And they're going to do it again. They'll probably
I am
get
asking for it. Please turn around and hand it to Oxendine.
Oxendine's going to push it this time, and they're going sideways, but the signal is up.
There it is.
Touchdown, Lavelle Wright. And so the Trojans are going to take a commanding 2-score lead here in a game where defense has been really tough. It's going to be an interesting fourth quarter for the Bruins. They're going to have to find a way to score a couple times to get back in this.
Absolutely. I'm going to give partial credit. I'm going to give half of it to Lavelle Wright. I'm going to give the other half to Octavius Oxendine on that. He was in behind, giving a nice push for Lavelle, get him across that 1-yard line there for the score.
So whether you follow him in or he pushes you in, I guess that's the way to go. One or the other doesn't matter. And Caden Logston killed that one. Beautifully kicked through. And the Trojans now taking a commanding 17-7 lead, 1:52 to go here in the third quarter. We're sponsored by Bluegrass Cellular, offering the most affordable unlimited plan anywhere where wireless works. Visit us at bluegrasscellular.com. E-Town Exterminating, 737-6900, online at mugabug.com. West Point Bank has 5 offices located in Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, Upton, Glendale, and West Point, or find us online at westpointbank.com. Let us help make life simpler. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple. So here you are. You find yourself 13 minutes and 52 seconds from the end of your season, and you're down 10 to an undefeated football team. What are you going to see here from the Bruins to have any hope of getting back in this ball game?
Well, I'm not really sure. There's not a special play in the playbook to get 10 points, obviously, or to even to get 2 scores. The one thing that I want to see, I just hope that the Bruins just continue to fight, just continue to play hard, and not give up on it. And you never know. Things could happen. Things could bounce their way to give them a chance.
So Nolan Goodman, number 20, it's 80, Hunter Mitchell recovering that rolling kick. And the Bruins will start at their own 41-yard line. So, Dan, they need a score. It doesn't have to be a touchdown right now. If they can get in field goal range and cut it to a one-score game here at this point in the game, they're still in good shape, but they've got to get something going.
Well, it's kind of interesting. We early on we saw the quick slants were kind of working. They haven't come back to it. I don't see that the Trojans have done anything defensively to take that away. I think it's still there. I'm looking right now. It's there, but I haven't seen them go back to it yet.
Inside handoff to Wilkerson. Number 4, Darren Green, will drop him for about a 3 or 4 yard loss. And again, they continue to run the ball sideways and then not attack the line of scrimmage. And you give this defensive front a half a second, and they're in the backfield just knocking in and out.
Absolutely, yeah. Darren Green's a great linebacker there. He's filling the hole, but that play just does not develop quick enough for the Bruins.
So 2nd down and 12 now after the 2-yard loss for Wilkerson. And again, Wilkerson has not had a positive gain in his last 5 carries. And yet they continue to run a lot of it, again, sideways running plays. Trips formation to the left. They're almost forced into a passing game here. Throw on the quick.
There it is.
And down. Number 9 making the interception. He was down there. They tried to run the short corner route like they did earlier. And number 9 jumped it. I don't have number 9's name right now, but a fantastic play on the outside. There's Devontae Jordan Lamaffa, and Devontae made a great play there. Slipped as he was trying to return the ball. And we said it was desperation time earlier.
Yeah, but now, we're seeing 2 turnovers in the last 3 possessions, with the turnover on downs in between that for the Bruins. They're trying to make something happen, and the turnovers are just going to be too costly at this point.
Can't turn the football over. We've said that all game long. Lavelle Wright on the carry. They have him in the backfield. A second attempt to get him on the ground will be successful after a 2-yard gain. That's Clay Perry on the tackle.
Yeah, again, just impressed with the Bruins. Continue to fight and try to get in there. They're doing a really good job. You see them kind of, getting through some gaps in that offensive line. And when you're able to do that, Lavelle's getting this ball almost 8 yards deep. He is fast and he's quick, but when he's getting the ball 8 yards deep and you're able to make those pushes, then you can make the tackles for loss or keep them on the 1-yard gainers.
23 seconds to go, 20 in the third quarter. Trips formation to the left. Ball will have to be snapped into play here. One more time this quarter, right off the left side. He's hit at about 2-yard gain. After about 4, he's brought down. And that'll be the quarter. So when we pick up the fourth quarter, it'll be Trojans with about a 3rd and 5 and up 17-7. This is an HCEC-TV student production, a division of Hardin County Schools. Special thanks to our live sports coverage sponsors, Brandenburg Telecom, Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of Remax Premier Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, E-Town Exterminating, and West Point Bank. Tune in weekly for rebroadcasts of all local HCEC-TV programs on Brandenburg Telecom and Comcast Cable's Channel 2 and Spectrum Communications on Channel 184. So there's a couple of missing elements here to this Bruin offensive attack, and that is a healthy Deonko Wilkerson, who's really struggling to get anything going, and a Kyler Lee. So anything on the ground, you've got 2 guys there who in the regular season, between Lee and Wilkerson had 811 yards. Kyler Lee had 521 yards, so over 1,300 yards between the 2 of them. And right now they just can't get anything, Dan. And in the absence of the running game, in the absence of Wilkerson being effective in the passing game, in the absence of big tight end Sean Hay, what are your options?
Well, At this point, I'm just going to go back and I had a conversation today with athletic director J.C. Wright, and he says, when in doubt, just run the 1-3-1. And you should be in good shape. So
he said that to me too.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know if there's an answer. Honestly, I think that's the problem.
All right, three-man front, bringing the rush. Completed pass to Cameron Smith. Breaks one, breaks another. He's deep in the secondary. Down inside the 10. It'll be first and goal. Trojans. 2 Bruins down on the field here. It's Clay Perry and one of his teammates, and they went into each other trying to tackle Cameron Smith and did some damage to each other. It was Andrew Ibarra as the other, and he's going to walk back to the huddle, whereas Clay Perry is still down, getting attention from the training staff. He doesn't want to come out, but they're going to require him to come out for a play. Whenever you stop the action, you're not going to be able to stay in the game. So Logan Green will check in at linebacker, and it looks like a very tired. That poor tackling right there looked like a very tired defense.
Yeah,
that has had about enough.
Yeah, definitely credit some of that there to poor tackling and being tired on defense. But Cameron Smith, man, wow, just to, continue to move his feet and just to continue to impress us in this game. What
had a couple
job.
Very strong runs, very strong. Trips formation to the left. I can't imagine you'll see anything but Lavelle Wright here. Snap. It is a give to Lavelle Wright off the left side.
Straight in.
And he's not touched until the 2-yard line where he runs over Deonko Wilkerson into the end zone. So Lavelle Wright on a 9-yard touchdown run will put another Trojan touchdown on the board with 11:26 to go in the game. I'd say this game is put on ice, Dan.
It is, yeah, for sure, because the Trojans are in control. They're feeling it. They're excited right now. 2 different. You can look at the energy from one sideline to the other, and it's totally different here on the near sideline with us with the Trojans as they're feeling and sensing victory at this point.
So the Bruins had put up a phenomenal fight effort up for most of the first half, tied at halftime, hanging in there early in this second half. But again, I just really feel like the lack of a running game. The team that can run the football usually wins a football game, and so it shows your dominance of a line of scrimmage. It is a way of imposing your will on the other team. And right now, that's what North Hardin's doing. They're imposing their will on this game.
Absolutely. I love that. That the Trojans can be able to just run the ball and run the ball and run the ball, and then be able to come in and hit you with a nice pass there. Like we've seen with Cameron Smith, being able to do that's the thing that's going to continue to move you along in this playoff run for a championship.
So I have not looked at the bracket, Dan. Who would be next?
The next that they would face, I believe, is the winner of St. X and somebody. And honestly,
St. X hasn't been as strong this
St.
year
X
as they have in the past.
has not been as
North
strong.
Hardin can play them.
Absolutely.
I don't know who the other opponent might be. Low runner again. This time Ibarra is going to collect it, and he is thrown down by Jordan Lovett immediately at about the 38. Clay Perry is down again, and might be a good idea just to keep him on the sideline.
Yeah, I don't. I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I said that St. X probably would not be until a later round.
Okay.
The winner of this game will get the winner of McCracken and Henderson.
We're going down to the western part of the state.
Yeah, but in the I think the
would it be here or
round
there?
2 winner, District 1. I guess I'm trying to look here on the KHSAA site. I'm trying to see where that game would be located. I'm sure hoping that it's here. I'm not interested in driving to McCracken or Henderson County at all. You got to look for hotels, I guess, if you make that drive.
I've been to both 4 games. Give this to Wilkerson, and again, he takes it going sideways. Now he's north and south, and Wilkerson's going to pick up a first down with an 11-yard gain. Good run for Deonko Wilkerson.
Good to see that Wilkerson still got it in him. I didn't want to totally count him out, obviously, but he has not been the Deonko Wilkerson that we've seen all season for sure tonight.
We've been down on him tonight, and I hate that because he is a phenomenal player. He's one of the best players on the football field on either side of the field. But you can just tell the ankle that he injured. He sat out the first Meade County game because of that ankle injury that he sustained in practice. It just hasn't been the same. Can't run on it, can't cut on it the way he has in the past. It's It's going to be a bootleg. Look, Vesey Lilo in pursuit. Throw is down the field to Josh McGowan, the tight end dragging, and Darren Green's going to knock it down.
Yeah, great job there of Darren Green getting up and getting a hand on it. Got to be a little careful as those balls you hit, if it pops up in the air, that's something that another receiver can sometimes pull down. But great pressure that we're seeing, put it on Chase Elmore there, and great defense and getting the ball knocked down as well.
So 2nd down and 10 now as they'll pull the tight end out. Josh McGowan will go to the sideline. Andrew Ibarra will come in and play more of a slot receiver position here. 10:41 remaining in the game. So as I was saying, I've been down to McCracken and Henderson, and we've had good success down there. I think the Trojans certainly would match up well with either team. It would be a very good football game. Chase Elmore looking to the side. Mason Thompson there trying to make the catch. Can't come down with it on the hitch route to bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, ball hits him in the hand, but I want to give credit there on that defensively for the Trojans getting there. The timing of that was perfect from the defensive standpoint as they're hitting him as the ball's getting there, and he's just not able to reel it in.
I believe that was a corner, Jordan Moore, number 20, on the hit. And again, Mason Thompson is a great athlete, and he's a big kid, but he's not accustomed to making those kinds of plays, hanging on to a football when he's taking a shot in the back, and he'll check out at this point. May have fallen on his arm or on his hand. He's treating it a bit gingerly over on the sideline. So tight end right, trips formation to the left. Elmore has Kyler Lee in the backfield trying to help protect against Oxendine. He's going to take a shot against double coverage. Gavin George had a shot at it. He's covered beautifully by Patry and Lovett. He had a shot at it, Dan.
He did have a shot at it, and it was hard for me to look downfield because I was watching Oxendine swallow up 2 Bruins at the same time on his way to put pressure on Elmore. Man, he just destroyed 2 guys trying to block him, and it takes away from the impressive play downfield of the defense knocking the ball out of Gavin George's hand.
So double coverage for the Trojans, and 2 great athletes, Patry and Lovett. Lovett has, I believe, 10 interceptions on the year, and Patry with about 8, somewhere in the 7-8 range. And so 2 great players, great on the ball, and they were able to knock it away. George did a good job. He had him kind of shielded. They were on his back, and he had an opportunity but just could not hang on to the ball with those 2 guys hanging on him. And so with 10:28 remaining, the Bruins have called timeout. They're down 3 scores. And Coach Mattingly, I guess, is going to try to make a decision here about what is he going to. They originally were going to send the punt team on.
Yeah, I think that he may just be, telling the guys we're just going to go for it here and see what happens. But you give the Trojans the ball back here in this position, it could, turn into another 7 points on the board.
Yeah.
Does that matter at this point? I'm not sure. But I don't think the Bruins want to let this game just get totally away from them because obviously the score then would look really bad in favor of the Trojans.
Well, I think Coach Mattingly would rather take a shot at winning the thing. He's not going to get 3 possessions if he punts it away here to be able to get back in it. So he's going to sprint to his left. Oxendine in his face. He's going to throw to George. He's got him on the sideline. 1st down, Bruins. About a 12-yard gain on 4th and 10. And so Gavin George again making another play. Elmore with a pressure in his face makes a good throw to his left side.
Yeah, good job there. As you said, every time we see Chase Elmore kind of rolling out to his right-hand side. So instead they go to the left here. Gavin George with that little comeback right there just past the sticks and is able to get the 1st down.
So 10:21, George stepped out of bounds. The clock is stopped here, and they'll continue. That was that little comeback route. They've completed, I believe, 4 times this evening to get Gavin George the ball down the field. They need to go back to the little slant pass. They're trying to run the belly out of the shotgun there, and guys, any sort of delay is going to be a problem. Vesey Lilo in the backfield, 59 Ashley in the backfield, joined by several of the linebackers. So the clock is winding, and it's 2nd and 11.
Yeah, that play just develops way too slow. I mean, when you've got a defensive line like the Trojans, I mean, they're hitting your 1st back, and then there's another guy there to hit your 2nd back almost before he even gets the handoff, and that could actually spell disaster for you.
So we're looking right now at a kind of worn-out-looking Bruin team, a little different without Mason Trout on the field, their best defensive lineman, one of their better offensive linemen, Sean Hay, the big tight end, who might have made a few of the plays that they've had some opportunities at. And that lack of depth is starting to maybe show right now. Elmore's going to break, contain to the right side. Still looking down the field. There's nothing there. He's going to try to avoid Oxendine. Good luck.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. I think you got a few words kind of going back and forth now at this point. It's got to make sure that everyone kind of keeps their composure at this point as one team has the opportunity to move on and the other just to save face. I mean, it's, we don't want anything to get ugly at this point.
It's a 7-yard loss, 3rd down and 18, obviously in 4-down territory. They went for it just a minute ago on 4th and 10, 8:51 and counting. Bruins still waiting for a play, it appears. Elmore coming on the field. They're going to have to hustle just to get this thing off. They need to be paying attention to the clock on the sideline there if they're expecting to get a play here and not get a delay of game penalty. They're not moving to the line of scrimmage very quickly either, Dan. 2 wide receivers to each side, 8:29 and counting. Bootleg to the left, stepping up, looking for something. There's nobody open. Up the sideline, Gavin George may be there. He wants him to turn and run, but that's just a bad decision. Jordan Lovett, the ball hawk, on the interception. They're going to try to get him on the ground. That is not an easy task. Continue to chase. Clay Perry is going to run him out of bounds, it looks like. Actually, it's Kyler Lee running him out of bounds at about the 35 or 40-yard line. There's a flag down, I think some sort of a late hit or extracurriculars, Dan.
Yeah, it was a very, looks like a hit there. Looks like Darren Green was the recipient of that hit from one of the Bruins. After the tackle, the play was out of bounds, and then there was a hit after the play.
Personal foul against the Bruins. That will tack on 15 more.
So personal foul on the Bruins. 8:06 remaining, and North Hardin Trojan offense will come back out to take over. There just really isn't anything that the Bruins are doing offensively that can make a difference. How many interceptions did they just say? I didn't hear that. That is Jordan Lovett's 14th interception. I think he had 3 last week is why that's a much higher number, but his 14th interception on the season, that's got to be close to some kind of record. That's crazy. He is an incredible ball hawk. What's that? Leading the state of Kentucky in interceptions. Lavelle Wright off the right side, maybe a yard. Andrew Abar off the edge to make the tackle.
It's pretty impressive for Jordan Lovett, the junior. He's just a junior.
Well, I believe he's gotten an offer from the University of Cincinnati.
And Tennessee.
And Tennessee
yes.
as well. So SEC, UC is a top 20 program right now, the University of Cincinnati in the American Conference. So Jordan Lovett looks to be a big-time player somewhere.
I think I heard
the
story. The story was something similar to that the Tennessee coach had never seen him play. But had heard his stats and came and talked to him and said, just to get the look test. Some guys have the look test and said, the boy, you're 6'2", 190 pounds, and you got 12 interceptions. You can play for us, and they made him the offer.
Good decision by the coach from Tennessee. They need a few guys that can play, and there's one right there. Lavelle Wright on the carry on the 2nd and 9 carry will be about an 8-yard gain, and he'll have 3rd and 1 now as Lavelle Wright continues to be the workhorse here and take care of business.
Yeah, I would just continue to feed Lavelle. You've got the ball, the clock under 7 minutes at this point. Just continue to feed him. There's no reason to deviate off of that.
So the 3-4 look on the defense here. 3rd and 1 they're going to give to Wright, and there just a massive block. Guess who? Big number 74 blocking on number 22, Trent Ferguson. Big number 74 for the Trojans is Trey Alexander, the freshman, who's in there tonight for his maybe his first start. He's seen some action this year, but his first start, and he is just blowing up people out there right now. So what a good performance here for the young fella.
Yeah, I think that, you talk about some of these other younger guys. Of course, he's played the entire game. We're getting down here. Clock is now ticking under 6 minutes. Trojans up 24-7. They're going to play next week, obviously, at this point. The game can get a little nasty. This might be an opportunity where you might try to find that next running back that'll be coming up. Give him an opportunity to get the ball in an environment like this.
That has not been the MO of this coaching staff, to take the foot off the gas. It might be a smart move, but it is not something we're going to see, I don't think, in this case. 5:42 to go in the game. 2nd down and 12 off the 2-yard loss there. Honestly, as tired as this Bruin team is, I wouldn't be shocked to see Lavelle Wright break one in the next 2 plays to the end zone. If they can give him a little space, I don't think there's going to be enough juice in this Bruin front to get a hold of him.
Right, yeah, that's
so timeout by the Trojans. This is a Hardin County Educational Community Television student production. HCEC-TV is a division of Hardin County Schools. Live Channel 1 programming is sponsored in part by Brandenburg Telecom, providing service for all your telecommunications needs. Physical Therapy Associates, Ryan Harris of Remax River Properties, Bluegrass Cellular, Eton Exterminating, and West Point Bank. So 5:24 to go, and it looks like the Bruins will finish off this season with a 9-3 record. We've got some other action going on locally. What are you hearing, Dan?
I'm hearing a couple of different things. I think I just heard that Louisville Moore is up 24-16 on John Hardin Bulldogs, or one of our other homestanding teams. They're still in it. They're definitely not
Bulldogs
out of it.
are fighting.
Yeah, fighting. I heard a score a minute ago, but I don't know if I can what exactly it was. But you have E-Town, Elizabethtown playing Bardstown tonight as well. And I again, sorry, I don't have the score.
I think Elizabethtown was down at the last report, maybe by a touchdown late into the game. Don't have a recent report, but that was the last report I heard. Give to Adams this time, and he's going to go straight ahead on 2nd and 12. He'll pick up about 5, maybe 4. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. And again, the way they're running the football right now, the Trojans just can keep it on the ground and keep running clock.
I do have a score that looks like the News Enterprise has retweeted a score from McCracken. Looks like it says McCracken is leading. Mustangs lead 7-6 with 7:39 to go in the 3rd.
Okay, so a barn burner down there as well. Fantastic game. Those two teams, big schools. And again, I've been to both of those places and coached against those programs, and they've got great football players down there.
I do have a score now. Looks like Bardstown is leading 37-27 over Elizabethtown.
Throw, touchdown, Cameron Smith. So from the 34-yard line, Manny Wimberly, again, this is the same play they ran for a 50-yard gain earlier. Just a seam pass to Cameron Smith, and Cameron Smith wide open.
Yeah, they're just blowing right past them. I mean, obviously, we're seeing the Bruins and the one safety, formation here. And Cameron Smith is just running up the seam, and it's just too far for safety help to get over top.
Well, here's the problem with that, Dan. If that is a 3-deep look, which is what it looks like, the corner ought to be playing hash to sideline. He ought to be between those guys, not running man-to-man on the outside receiver. So there's no reason for that to happen there. But somebody's a little out of position for the Bruins if that continues to happen. So Caden Logston will knock it through. And the Trojans have seized control. So, through 6 quarters of this rivalry this year, we had a 14-7 score. For the last 2 quarters now, we have a 24-0 Trojans grabbing the dominance of this situation here. Again, very competitive game the first time around. First half tied tonight. But the Trojans have just really imposed their will now upon the Bruins, and they've got this thing sealed away.
Yeah, absolutely. The game has definitely turned right there in the favor of the Trojan faithful here, as they are continuing to just kind of pull away. 4.5 minutes to go. I think the Bruins are just going to have to just kind of hope to not give up any more points at this juncture.
So 4:35 remaining. Trojans 31, Bruins 7. The celebration has begun. And in Radcliffe here, the North Hardin Trojans are enjoying themselves on the sideline. It is a low bouncing kick. Again, Hunter Mitchell will get it and throw it back to Deonka Wilkerson. Throw it across the field to Gavin George. A little trickery trying to make something happen. George up the sideline. he just ran out of real estate there. Good play by the Bruins.
Yeah, it looks like that they've practiced that a few times and trying to get the ball across to get it to a weapon. And nice little ball for Deonko Wilkerson just to kind of catch and throw.
He just pitched that thing over there in a hurry. That was a good 25-yard throw.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So the Bruins definitely get the ball in some decent field position here.
At the 45-yard line.
Huh. So the Bruins take over from their own 45. I think Gavin George stepped out of bounds a little earlier than what we thought he had, but he did step out of bounds there. And the Bruins will take over, and we'll see what they can manage here. I don't know what the options are, Dan, because there's really nothing going on. The give is to Kyler Lee straight ahead, and Darren Green, Isaiah Beasley, Michael Lunds, all there to make the play.
Yeah, we hadn't called Kyler Lee's name a whole lot, and maybe we finally do, and he just hits a brick wall.
So 2nd and 9.5, as maybe he got just past maybe the nose of the ball over the line of scrimmage, but was pushed back immediately at that point. 3:55 and counting here. Wing T formation to the right, motion by Deonko Wilkerson. The give is on the reverse to Trajan. The ball's on the ground and loose. A bad handoff there. Poor ball handling. I think Trajan jumped back on the ball, but a loss of about 5 on that one. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 15 for the Bruins.
Yeah, they can't afford to have another turnover, obviously, as the 3 they have already are bad enough.
Loss of 5. 3rd and 14.
So looks like
Devontae Lamaffa, I believe, a little bit gingerly getting off the field. Number 9 there. Made a big interception early on the short corner route for the Bruins and came up with a big pick.
Absolutely. Like I said, this is the point for me. You're up 31-7. I mean, it's probably a point to start get some of your younger guys. And I don't know if it's a statement that they don't want to give up any more points or whatever it might be. But there's a long stretch to get to the championship, and you want to make sure that you're as healthy as possible to get there.
Elmore looking downfield. He's got McGowan. Did McGowan come up with it? Completed as Josh McGowan goes down low, makes a good catch. Looks like he's got a 1st down, about a 16-yard pickup on the dragging tight end. And they're going to call that one back as there was an illegal man downfield. One of the linemen getting out and releasing down the field.
Yeah, he was down there pretty far. I think he probably just kind of lost track of where he was, trying to get down and make a block. Good job by the officials to see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3rd and 19 for the Bruins.
Yeah, so Coach, I get some little confirmation on that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, and we just took a break for a moment to figure out where the Trojans would be.
Wow, just tackle.
Next week. Gavin George is going to catch it for a 1st down on 3rd and 19. Unfortunately, there was a holding call on the Bruins, so the Bruins are going to come right on back here. So anytime the Bruins get something going, there's a penalty or a turnover. And, when you can't block a guy, and the Trojans are one of the most difficult group to block, one of the things you do is you drag them to the ground.
Yeah, and it looks like that was, I don't know if it was Isaiah Beasley that was tackled to the ground, or no, it may have been Lilo. I think it was Vesey Lilo that was just tackled to the ground there. Yeah, that's going to get called every time.
So Elmore scrambling and making some good throws here, but the catch by McGowan and the catch by George for nothing, as there are penalties on those plays. So you're now in a 3rd down and a lot. It's more than what they've got on the scoreboard there. 10, 20. You got about 30 yards to go here, maybe 27 from the 18-yard line. And Isaiah Beasley on him in a heartbeat. Sack for the Trojans. And so Isaiah Beasley getting back there. He doesn't have his normal pass rushing mate, Jarrell Campbell. but Beasley is there in a hurry.
Yeah, putting the pressure on for sure, and Chase Elmer just has nowhere to go in that case, and it's just really probably fortunate that the ball doesn't come popping out on those because he's hit pretty hard.
It's on about 4th and 35, maybe a little more than that.
Yeah, Xander looks like he's going to be standing in the end zone.
Inside the ends of the ball, spotted at the 10. Yeah, that's actually 45 yards to go. 4th and 45, and Xander Allen will try to just get it out of there. Quayshawn Davis, it's going to be a rugby punt as he runs to the right. He's keeping it away from Quayshawn Davis. It's a good kick. It's going to get a good roll. It'll be about a 45, 46-yard punt. And so good kick by Xander Allen. 1:12 remaining in the Central Hardin Bruins season. But now it's time to talk about the Trojans. They move on for week 3, and they'll celebrate tonight a district championship and go back to work tomorrow, getting ready. The coaches will go back to work tomorrow, getting ready for either Henderson County or McCracken County, and that game will be right here in Radcliffe at Trojan Stadium. So I believe, depending on the results of the other games, this will be where we are next week to see the Trojans fight for a region championship. Victory formation.
Yeah, still nothing coming from the Kevin Patton there. Someone who I was looking at on Twitter. He writes for the paper there in Henderson. Still looks like it's still 7-6 of the last result that we have for McCracken there leading.
So we'll be back here, I would suspect, next week. It looks like E-Town is struggling. We would probably be here, obviously, for a Hardin County Schools game. An undefeated 12-0 North Hardin Trojan team playing for a region title here in their home stadium. We couldn't do anything but be here. So as the clock is winding down, the Trojans will have to snap one more time. There it is, as Manny Wimberly will take a knee. The clock, the ball not set, 23 seconds to go. And so a district title for the Trojans. Let's wrap up the season for the Bruins as they'll finish up at 9-3. And there's always golf and tennis to be played.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate it for the Bruins. They've had a great season. It will definitely be. I don't know if Coach Madley would say this or not, but it will definitely be a rebuilding year next year for the Bruins as they graduate 22 seniors off this team, and so it's going to be something to look at what the Bruins will come back next year. But hats off to the seniors. A great season for them. Nothing to be ashamed of. Obviously not the result they wanted tonight, but a great season for
13, 14 catches for Gavin George tonight. A good night for several of the seniors. Difficult night for Deonko Wilkerson nursing the injured leg. He had a great season as well, running for right around 900 yards on the season. They played very well all season long. Lost twice to this North Hardin team, once to a one-loss South Oldham squad. It's been a great season. As you mentioned, rebuilding. But I will say this. That freshman squad they've got only lost one game this year, and they won the 8th grade championship. The 8th grade team at East Hardin won the championship this year. There's some serious talent coming.
Absolutely.
In fact, the defensive front you see here for North Hardin that is so talented, you got a group of 4 freshmen right now that are huge and really, really good. A couple of guys that the coaching staff thinks are D1 D linemen. They think they've got 3 of them on that squad, and so they're going to struggle next year probably, but good things coming down the road, not too far. And so the blue and gold will be back, and they'll have themselves a great year. What about for the Trojans in next week at home for a region title?
Well, whether it's Henderson or McCracken, haven't seen them, but I've seen North Hardin, and I'll just have to say that whoever decides to come into town here, they better be ready, because this Trojan team is packed with weapons. They have tenacity on defense just to get after you. So I'm not sure what they bring in the offensive standpoint, but I promise you that the Trojans got an answer for them. So it'll be interesting to see. Be excited to continue to follow the Trojans on their quest for a championship and a great undefeated season.
So Dan, I will say this: I saw last year Mail come into town here in the playoff game, and I thought the Trojans would have to play their very best to stay within a couple of touchdowns. Didn't see any way they were going to win that football game. Next Friday night, to me, they're the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
To me, they're the better football team against either one of those squads. I think you can expect them to have a great chance to move on. They ought to be, again, as I said, they ought to be favored. I feel really good about their opportunity and their chance. This is a team built to win because they play defense.
Absolutely.
If you play defense, you're in the ball game all the way to the end. And I don't see anything different than what we saw tonight happening next week. We'll see what Henderson or McCracken has to offer. But I like my chances with the Trojans here.
Absolutely.
So congratulations to the 12-0 district champion North Hardin Trojans. We want to thank our sponsors again this season.
Looks like John Hardin has just tied it up there in Louisville, 24-24 with 1:14 left. Actually, it's in the third there, so they must have got a later start than we did. So, yeah, absolutely. And it looks like Bardstown continues to push ahead 44-27 over Elizabethtown at this point.
So it looks like Elizabethtown's season will also come to an end this evening, but not for the North Hardin Trojans. Again, thanks to our sponsors, thanks to Dale Mings and our student crew in the truck. Great job this evening. Thanks to my broadcast partner here, Dan Robbins. I'm Paul Gray. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
This has been a Hardin County Educational Community Television production. Live local sports are on Brandenburg Channel 1, and all rebroadcasts are on Brandenburg and Comcast Channel 2, Spectrum Communications Channel 184, and on our YouTube site. Also check out our live sporting events on nfhs.com or visit us at hardin.k12.ky.us. Hardin County Educational Community Television, located in Hardin County, Kentucky, a division of Hardin County Schools, airing on Brandenburg, Comcast, Spectrum, and also airing online.
Providing live coverage of local high school sports.
Covering community and school events, while teaching students along the way.
HCEC-TV, the area's leading educational and government access channel, training the next generation of media arts students.
Control your home even when you're not there with Brandenburg Telecom's home automation service. Turn lights on and off, lock and unlock doors, and change settings on your thermostat using your smartphone or tablet. Stop worrying whether or not you remember to close the garage door, and save money by programming your thermostat to reduce energy use when you're not home. Call Brandenburg Telecom for a free quote and enjoy the convenience of having home automation, phone, TV, and internet service, all from one local company.
All right, son. Ready to open your first savings account?
Yes, I am.
West Point Bank has been growing with our customers for over 30 years. We know what it takes to support them in every stage of their life. You need a bank that you know and trust to help you reach your goals and make your dreams come true. West Point Bank, hometown banking made simple.
If pain is keeping you from doing the things you love, it's time to visit Physical Therapy Associates. We offer a variety of treatment options, including dry needling, A-stem, tractions, and many other options to relieve pain. Many of our patients are able to avoid surgery and costly pain medication through our treatments. If you haven't tried these options, what are you waiting for? With 6 locations across central Kentucky, pain relief is only a phone call away. Give Physical Therapy Associates a chance to get you out of pain. Physical Therapy Associates, friends helping friends.
Hey everyone, Ryan here. I just wanted to announce some exciting news that I'm officially a licensed realtor. I've been a part of a championship-winning basketball team, a conference-winning Bellarmine golf team, and now I'm part of an award-winning real estate team, JT Pitts & Associates at RE/MAX Premier Properties. If you have any real estate questions, real estate needs, or just want to reach out, please don't hesitate to call or send me a message. My number is right below. I'm ready to bring that winning mentality to the real estate industry so I can give my clients the service they deserve. Thanks.
Bluegrass Cellular's faster data speeds and more complete coverage keep you connected to your community, no matter where life takes you. Whether you're exploring your own backyard or forging new paths across the country. Talk better, text better, play better, and share better. Here, there, and everywhere. Bluegrass Cellular, your community expanded.
E-Town Exterminating, a locally owned, family-run pest control company, has been serving Hardin County and the surrounding area since 1976. E-Town Exterminating provides pest control for residential and commercial properties. E-Town Exterminating on Ring Road in Elizabethtown. Phone 737-6900.
E-Town Exterminating. What the buzz is all about.
For additional information on HCEC-TV programming, call 270-769-8855 or email Gina Ryan at hardin.kyschools.us. On behalf of HCEC-TV, we would like to thank all of our live coverage sponsors.